There we go.
What's up, everybody? This is the poker coaching study session, and today we're gonna be looking at the small blind. So, we're gonna have various stack depth, and we're gonna play from the start of the hand. What do we do with this one? Jack seven.
I'm tempted to call, but I think it's a fold.
Yeah, I think I
You
fold.
need to call, I think.
I
No?
think 10-8 you can call, but I fold.
Yeah, I would rather just fold.
So it might jam this, no? It's gonna call some. That's
25 big,
without,
I think the offsuit
without question. It's gonna call some.
isn't more offsuit jamming. I would call this one and
I
jam
would call, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a call,
This-
but there is jamming there.
Yeah, it's also a jam.
So, what kind of stuff do we jam here?
Imagine it's just gonna be a lot of the suited aces at some frequency. Well, you got the offsuit ones in there too.
Not really.
It's more the suited ones. You're correct.
So we would need like ace ten off. These are slivers, good luck with that. Mostly suited aces are mostly a call. So. Ace eight, ace seven can do it. And the wheel, basically. The solver special.
Look at those suited connectors. Or
Yeah.
call.
Pairs. Suited
Suited
connectors
Broadway.
are, yeah, and see. We got 25 big blinds, 5-4 suited, I mean. Yeah,
Especially if they don't squeeze enough, and then it becomes good.
very thin.
Oh,
Yeah,
Start with a check.
yeah,
Pretty clear. You pick up showdown. I like checking again.
I agree.
Very easy call.
Yeah,
So do we jam ever here?
no,
Or is it just always an easy call?
it's a pair and a draw. We just have a pair of eight.
bad bet, then I would call.
We just call here.
He's polarizing, so he's saying he's got a big hand.
Yeah.
Jam.
gets
Now,
the pass
now,
off.
now the real question comes in is, if we check here, I think he, especially population here, never value bets thin enough. They just don't find that in value bets are.
Yeah, but they
They're
call.
not gonna give
but
three
also-
streets with like king ten here. They're gonna be like, oh, that's, you know,
I think the
Even
fact that he
betting five.
polarized. Yeah, I agree, Bill. I think we're definitely gonna bet. I'm just torn between 9.5 and just jamming.
what
He
kind of,
polarized, so
yeah,
go
I
ahead.
like going all in here.
Yeah, we
Gotta
block
have-
his best bluffs, so I would go all in.
You gotta have some checks in your range too, though, right?
Yeah, but the ace of spades is blocking all his best bluffs, isn't it?
So I
I
guess
think
it's
the,
the stuff.
yeah, I think the way that he polarizes the turn there, he bets so large on the turn, I think it's gonna really push our edge here. I think we're really it's gonna push us towards jamming.
Okay.
Yeah,
let's
he's-
give it a try.
He's gonna have to call off with,
No, check.
Yeah. So you want to check. Yeah.
gonna have to call off with the straight there, so.
Mm-hmm.
Against
Because when he
solver,
polarizes-
I can agree, but against population, I would just jam.
Oh, it's a bit slow today. Okay, so checking range here.
Pretty much. Ace ten's doing a little bit of it, but
Yeah, we're on slivers here, slivers of slivers.
I think it's just an odd line because it
Yeah.
went check, check, flop, and then he polarizes that turn, which is probably low frequency, huh?
Hmm.
Like the 8 doesn't change too much. Changes nothing, actually.
Especially when we hold an 8. It's not like he turned an 8, right?
Yeah, like, okay, pocket eights might take that line, but like Peter said, we're blocking. So what is he doing that with?
Okay, alright, let's say another one. Oh,
Fucking way. Niet ineens ook. Damn. I'm dead.
I think you can 3-bet this pretty high frequency, maybe low frequency call.
Always a three bet.
Check, maybe?
We three bet.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
Doesn't have a lot of single nines and or single fours and twos here, so it's probably a range bet.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe a bet small. What
No.
size?
no, I think this spot here is different. I think this here, if it was to Broadway, would have a lot of bet small, some bet big. I think this here is gonna be like a little bit of checking. Well, in my mind, it's like half checking and half betting big, so. we need to
Maybe.
Yeah, I agree that there's gonna be some checks. We don't have the spade, and I think he's gonna, just raise like his over pairs that he's flatting with, and that sucks. Or we can check call one, I think.
Do you
I
ever
like-
think without the spade you don't bet bigger? We still size down to like 5?
Nope.
Yeah, see, I'm kind of torn there, Bill,
Oh,
myself.
wow.
I thought it was bet smaller. I thought it was check. It was really wet, but,
Why would you three bet and check this board?
well, it's EP1. I mean, it's not like a,
Oh, okay,
unprotected
yeah, we
range.
bet big when we bet. The range is mixing. What's the driving factor? It's a spade. That's
Is-
You need a
I
spade.
need a
Yep,
spade.
you need
Yeah,
a spade.
definitely, okay. So we can't really, we can bet. Like a little bit of everything, but not without the spade, kind of. You need
Look what
either a
nine-
spade or extra equity.
Look what 9x is doing.
These are
Like-
pairs.
I know, but like, look at Jack 9, 10, 9. Like, they're basically checking
Yeah,
a lot.
Well, he's defending better suited nines, and he's got some over pairs still to the board, right?
Yep, that's kinda my suspicions as well.
Did we 3-bet this?
We
yeah.
did.
Or how often are you 3-betting Jack 9 suited? From the small blind? I think it's early
Quite a
position.
bit.
A little bit.
60
if you're
60
against
big
late-
blinds.
Late position.
Okay, we're that deep. Okay, I thought we were shorter.
So just look at this line here as a whole, okay? Just forget everything here. Just look at the line as a whole. Then you see, these are all the ace high boards, all the king high boards. You see like king high boards or ace high boards, we just bet any two cards. You see like queen high boards, we bet more often than we don't. Jack high board, back to betting a lot. So whenever there's a Broadway, kind of almost always bet. These 9 high boards that we had, we do either check and it's mostly bet bigs. That's where we are right now. So like somewhere around here. So what was the texture? It was like,
9-4-2.
9-4
9-4
deuce.
deuce. So it's like
Two-tone.
something like this here. So like, if it comes monotone, you just bet small. And also like, in the new master class that JL is doing. He's proving that, for example, like, on these monotone boards, you're supposed to be betting small. I'm more used to a 33% sizing. But if you go even smaller and you go one big blind, for example, you can do it almost every time and it's gonna be closer to perfect, right? Because the less you bet, the more you can do it, kind of. And it's closer to being correct, so.
So that might not be relevant in three bet pots, or do you think it's still just as relevant?
It is relevant, even in three bet pots. In fact, he even uses example from three bet pots to basically say that if we lock to a 33% size and then other size, and which, if we allow a smaller size, it just does it more often with the smaller size.
Right, okay, good to know.
So that's something I picked up. And like, yeah, we're gonna just go very polar here. Oh, it wasn't ready for this.
We're
guy.
supposed to check.
Yeah. We got him. Look at him calling with the fringes of his range.
Lucky
Huh.
he didn't 4-bet you.
Yeah, and king 5, so.
This is
Alright.
a low frequency call,
I'm
high
ripping it.
frequency jam.
Low jack's earlier position. It's gonna be a pretty good mix.
I think if we had the queen, jack, jack 10, queen 10, king 10, it would be jamming. I think this one is too strong. No,
When I say low frequency, I mean no frequency, by the way.
Is that always the case, Galen, or just now?
see, I figured this part,
Just now.
but yeah, full frequency on king, queen suited. It makes sense, right? 25 big blinds, 2 Broadway.
That's the driving factor, I think, is 25 biggies.
Yeah,
Yeah, if it's 30, then I don't think it should be.
Yeah, I don't know. It might be, maybe not.
Without the jam, you're gonna be in a weird part of the tree here.
yeah. Let's just go all in.
Yeah.
Oh, it snaps.
Ay,
Donk jam.
caramba.
Okay, let's do it again. Against the
Same
cutoff,
story.
still a jam, right?
Yeah, same
okay,
story.
we got him. Oh no, he snaps.
Lucky
No
we
respect.
No respect. man.
I think we just jam all of our pairs here. Maybe not all of them from the low jack,
Oh, all of them,
first low jack.
all of them.
The low ones, yeah, probably all of them. The big ones, the best ones won't, no?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think, okay, so there is a little bit on the trashiest ones,
No,
but
it's clear. It doesn't wanna do fives or less. Like
Yeah,
there's
you're more
Low jack.
linear, huh?
clear.
low jack
Mm,
specifically.
Up.
Small blind,
Yeah.
linear.
I don't find calls at 16 big blinds there, honestly. With those small pairs, I'd rather fold than call.
Yeah,
It's hard to play them out of position, but yeah.
I think folding's probably the worst of the options when you're in the small blind. and You've already committed half a blind.
yeah, pocket deuce,
Oh, right. Got a blind.
never
yeah.
lose.
Yes.
Otherwise, I'm with you, Ken.
Yeah.
High frequency call, low frequency raise.
Yeah, I'm calling.
I'm calling. High frequency indeed.
Deep enough to set mine.
By high frequency, I mean 100%.
Yes. You
So,
are correct, Ken.
What pair do you start three betting here?
Sevens. Slivers of
I'm looking-
sevens, eights.
I'm cheating right now. I'm looking at the answer.
I would go for nines.
Never mind.
Probably nines.
It's slivers of sixes and sevens and then pretty full frequency plus.
Eights plus. Yeah.
So it's like eights.
And nines is 100%.
Fold, full frequency fold.
Yeah, you have to deep for 100% free betting now.
We can fold this,
Limp.
not the arrangement for it.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, there's an open.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good old
otherwise-
UTG.
I was limping.
Limp,
Limp?
Ooh,
maybe,
this is the bottom of the umbrella. It's gonna wanna raise.
Yeah, the fours, right?
it is in there somehow.
Or the bottom of the boomerang.
Yeah, that's Jonathan, that's correct. You can definitely, raise this portion.
Hmm,
Yeah, I have a mixing. Yeah.
so 25. Okay. You just call.
Check fold.
Bluff raise.
I'm still folding.
Just
I need
kidding.
a- I need a
Fold,
suit.
fold,
I
fold.
need it. I
Don't,
need
do
a
it, don't
suit.
do it.
I needed spades or hearts or something here.
Alright, fold.
Calling 10%. Yeah.
We get better fours to fold.
He's never
Fold.
folding backdoor.
It's a fold.
Okay,
Yeah, it's fold.
okay, without cheating, what's the floor of your calling range?
Ace
Uh,
nine.
ace
off.
nine's pretty close, I think, Ken. I would say. Like GTO equilibrium is probably around ace nine off, maybe ace seven.
Do you fold AC?
I do, personally,
Yeah, I'm
I do.
folding AC.
I'm calling,
if I
me
fold.
personally, I'm calling ace ten off here, maybe ace jack, depending on the player stats. plus?
I am calling ace eight here.
No, I never do that.
His
Thing is,
hijack is my only problem.
he's jamming with queen ten suited, jack ten suited, king ten suited. He's jamming with like ace five, ace six, ace seven. He's jamming with
Is he?
like, wow, he's got 14 big blinds. What else is he gonna do? What is he doing
ju-
with king ten off?
You should open a lot and then fold to raise.
From 14?
From 14, yeah.
I'm looking at 15 and it's got him, he's got 17% of the range is still just raising, but there is quite a bit of jamming here.
Yeah, so in my mind, he has to jam with king eyes, right?
Uh,
So ace eight is a bit closer at chippy V for me. I'm snapping it.
yeah, I still think I'm ace 10 off. Maybe ace 9 suited, I could make an argument for, but I mean, at a GTO equilibrium, I think you're close. I think you're probably very close.
There's also the big blind that is behind you, so you can also have wake up. So you must be careful not only playing against the.
Okay, it's ace nine.
So ace 9 and then like ace 7. Okay, I mean, yeah, this region makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm a little tighter than this in actuality.
Yeah, me also.
Like
But
the
that-
king jack suited and the king queen off, I don't think I'm ever finding here. I know, Louis, it kills you.
They say pocket lose, never lose.
They don't jam
lied.
as much as you do.
Okay.
Not
Yeah,
playing
they,
against yourself.
we
Jam.
know why they don't lose, right?
Oh, no jam.
I'm
Do you
jamming.
jam this or do you
I'm
limp
jamming.
this? Do you limp complete or do you jam? It's low jack.
What?
It's only a limp, so you can call for half a big
You can
blind.
limp and then call the jam. Great.
No, you can also fold.
Jam is still plus EV.
Okay, you need fives here.
It's not about plus if it's about what is best. Okay.
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up?
Hello.
Who's that?
What's the stack depth?
Variable.
Random, yeah, variable, better word.
What's the stack depth, guys?
It says
Variable,
right there.
Look on the board.
100 big blinds this
Oh,
time.
okay.
It's gonna change.
We're doing
This is like in a
14
different
to 100.
one. I
I'm
feel like
folding.
this is gonna be like mixing folds, calls and maybe some raises here.
I think
Like
there's
this
definitely
is,
some three bets, yeah.
See,
I
I'm
think
three
it's completely
betting.
indifferent.
I'm three betting full frequency here.
I'm not. I'm actually folding this sometimes.
35, okay.
Here
It's
we
never
go.
fold.
Ace, king, 9. I mean, I think this is a big bet.
Yeah. Even bigger.
Yeah, that's I think 11.5 is.
Yeah, you gotta threaten to get it all in.
Well,
We got a diamond. I think you go again sometimes.
What?
It's the 10 of diamonds, though. It's not a
you
great
sure
diamond.
about that diamond thing?
It probably goes really big here.
I think
No,
it
you will-
might go again.
It's
Go
gonna
like-
barrel small so you can jam river at stack to pot ratio of 1.
I kinda
You
agree with
have the
Petey
10 of
there.
diamonds, so you block his continuation range if you bet for small bets at least.
We got
I'll
the
give
10
it
of
up because I hate to
diamonds.
rebuy. I have too many chips to have to fucking fire another bullet.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking for diamonds. Okay, so I select all the diamonds. Okay, and I'm looking at whether or not you're right to barrel just because you have the 10 of diamond in your hand.
Yep.
So this here seems to be okay. 10 of diamond. You don't do it with the other ones, but with the diamond. you do.
So do we want to have a diamond there or we don't?
You
It's
do.
not showing you the diamonds because the other ones, yeah, they're now you have them. in
Showing
there.
diamonds.
So it's clearly diamonds.
Yeah,
Well, you think I'd lie to you, Louis?
No,
So it's like,
If he has king 10 of diamonds, you would call him. Otherwise, I mean, yeah.
so it's like,
Ah.
so it's like, you barrel with the diamond, to bluff the rivers when the diamond also comes, right?
That's part of it, I think. Or I mean, Louis, put your floaties on, man. We're going to the deep end of the pool. We're about to go for a swim.
Seems like it with the diamond in your hand, you go for a
Get your
swim.
floaties on, get ready. Let's go like somewhat geo. Let's do that one. I like 23, good. And
The jack.
yeah,
He's-
we'll want the
Jack-
Jack
jack.
would make it.
He folds.
He's tanking.
Ay caramba. Ay caramba. So the
Yeah.
great question.
Now your
Here's the great
diamond is bad.
question. Do we give up?
I think we have to give up. We blocked like all of his floats, right?
Yeah,
I
it's
think
an
You
easy.
block the diamond and queen. I mean,
I think it's a give up too, right? I think we block the hands we want him to have now. He's gonna just show you an ace here.
Yeah,
Actually, he's not gonna show you an ace because we have to fold.
it's like,
oh, well, then see his hand.
it's like also like, since all our bluffs bricked, like,
He beat us with queen jack.
Yeah, that's how it kicked.
You
Block
do
us
the
on the
same
river.
trick against under the gun? Probably.
No, no, no,
none
no,
of it.
no, 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 no.
We
no,
don't
no,
even believe
fold.
that.
You
Fold,
can fold
fold,
this.
You
Fold.
fold, queen ten?
fold.
Not a call,
Louis
not
is
a
three
call.
betting this,
It's a
right?
fold, Louis. It's a fold.
Thank you.
G'day, guys. How's it going?
G'day.
Ooh.
King five.
Need some
I
luck.
don't hate, I think
It's a
25
raise
is a bit
fold,
deep.
right?
I kinda
3x,
like
yeah.
raising. I like
Yeah.
raising.
Raise
I
fold, right?
think.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
raising too.
Queen
Oh,
or
it's
the
a
You can
call?
jam, you
spades.
can jam.
I mean,
So there's
the EV is
equal
the same.
frequencies.
So
Yeah,
my
there's
mind,
jamming.
we would raise the low ones and then, see, I thought we would limp more at these because they're stronger. Then raise the trash, but no. It's really like the stronger your king is, the more you raise.
Kind of.
I think when you have a limping range, you're
But we-
protecting the bottom, absolute bottom of your range to be able to limp by limping some stronger stuff.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to have a limping range when you're blind versus blind is the thing. You can't VPip it 100%. I mean, I guess you could, but. This looks like a reasonable range. 10 deuce deuce is so dry. I think we see bet this. He's
Yep.
gonna have a hard time continuing.
One big
I really-
blind.
I
think
really
we
don't like
I
the
don't-
sizes, hey?
I think we actually go a little bigger too, because we have all the overpairs here.
Well, I don't even think
Yeah.
we need to go big. Like, you don't have to make any hands indifferent. It's basically, his response is binary, right? He's gonna continue with a 10 or a deuce. And,
think three.
Both cards,
I think
Yeah, I
two.
like the, I
It's one or
like
two.
the,
backdoors.
I like the one, I like the one.
I'm the
I
two
go
guy
one or
myself.
we check, I think.
I'm going three.
Nah, I think one or two. One or two. Never three. Never three. Wow.
Minor frequency
Two.
3. I mean,
Bit
the
of
motion's
everything.
right. Yeah, the motion's right.
Alright, so we bet one and, okay, now we can like bomb it, right? Like,
You don't have to go, you
I
don't even
mean-
have to go too big. Like I like that 5-9-5.
not like
Yeah.
overbet, but we clearly got the best. Wow, check. What?
Yeah, why not?
Well, you can check.
Also
you
good
can
kings
bet
in
it's
yours.
fine.
So like,
Is
the
we
thing
take-
You also have a king in your
we take
checking.
a flop with every king, so this is our worst one also.
Yeah. So that's one's the checks sometimes.
It's easier to get all the money in if you check raise than if you have to bet big and he has to call a big bet here.
Well, yeah, and you gotta think about like his airball floats too, like, okay, if he has nothing here and you double barrel when you make top pair, like that. You're never getting bluffs from that guy. And you're just betting out his trash
If he-
hands that he floats.
If you bet check, it gets a lot of bluffs.
He should be bluffing some.
Call.
Yeah. Like, if he was
this
floating
is-
jack four there, he's floating all his kings in range too there.
That's another part of it, yeah. Man, you might have some jamming here versus the cutoff, but, I kinda like calling more.
Do you ever just fold here?
No,
I'm too fishy to fold this hand.
Yeah, so it's just a call.
Check fold.
Yep, that's correct. Check fold.
We have the deuce of spade.
Louis, stop
Mr.
it.
X.
Louis, stop it.
sized
Stop
up a
it,
little. He
Louis.
sized up a
I knew it
little.
was, I was ready for it. I was sitting here like Louis is gonna say something.
This needs to become a meme or some sort. Like,
Fold.
but you can flop a pair.
Just, he can turn a set. He can river quads.
Fold.
Yeah.
What
you
about
call
queen ten offsuit?
Call.
Hey, see you guys.
Are we
Good
gonna
You-
pass?
Alright, have a good one, Yas.
What
Surely
about
a fold,
this one?
right?
King
Cause
10
it's
off.
under the gun one raise and we're short.
King ten off is a harder question. You're gonna have to VPip king ten off, I think, but
King
this
10
you can
mixes.
fold.
Okay.
Does king 10 not rip it?
It's too early
Oh,
position, I
Not
think.
with not with
Ah.
the offsuit one for sure.
Okay, we don't need to
Right.
play them really. We could
Okay.
be playing just offsuit jacks and it's fine. 20 big ZP. Okay.
I think I have many leaks in my small blind game actually, like, cause
Small
Like
blind is
recently-
fucking hard.
yeah, it's like I'm
Damn.
either too tight. I'm either too when I see ranges, when I look ranges and
All
compare like
raise.
my own game, it's like I'm either
All.
too tight or too loose from the small
Damn,
blind.
damn.
Call.
3.5.
Call.
Listen,
call.
just the
Call.
idea of calling is tilting.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, no,
said
you can't, no,
all.
no.
Okay, so listen,
All.
if
He's
you're
saying
gonna
all.
ever call here, I'm already pissed off. Alright,
I'm not calling.
All in,
What if
not call.
what if
okay, thank you. I
the
thought you
sizing
said
is so
call, I
bad?
was
Like the
oh my
sizing is so bad, but what are we like?
God, it's
Wow.
complicated.
Yeah, to raise with like 3.5. Yeah, it likes jamming still. Wow.
You crazy? I said all of it.
Yeah.
Now what are you gonna do?
Hope they don't have a
What do you
queen.
mean?
And go for it.
mean?
Rip it.
And a bet?
What?
Oh.
Oh my.
Jeez. Look what you've done to us, Louis. Look
What
what
did I
you've
do?
done.
You've made your bed.
Oh.
You've
I'm
made your bed.
calling,
Now
I'm not
sleep in it.
raising back here, I'm just calling, but okay, okay.
Keeping full big.
Same thing, I'm never gonna fold.
Yeah, we gotta go broke.
Look at the SPR, we have second pair. Geez.
This is why we jam.
What if you have a
pre-flop, Louis.
They're
spade?
just yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
too good.
Easy breezy. Grab a spade, we can maybe call a little bit more.
I was thinking fold.
No, no, no.
No.
No, not with 20.
Fold.
King six off. It just.
Let it
looks
go.
Like ace king.
I like my folding button here a lot more.
I'm really surprised Louis didn't click all in then, but we'll move on.
He didn't saw that he can make a pair of kings.
Fold.
Yeah, clearly a fold. 50 bigs. I
This
think
is a
we
call.
actually called it. Yeah.
This is a call.
I'm not calling.
That's
Uh,
value
probably
part
call
of
and
our
3-bet.
range.
Why you guys wanna
I
call?
think it's call and 3-bet. Both.
What are you gonna do versus a four bet, Louis?
What do you mean? We
Dude,
have
we're
ace
gonna
queen.
go.
Buckle up.
We're too
Ace
deep
queen
to
suited.
we're too
Four
deep
bet.
to get 50 bigs in out of like as a 4-bet.
I'm four bet
Call off.
jamming.
Like if we go
Ace
raise
queen?
9.2 and they jam, like we're not happy.
Ace
Or
queen
5bet
suited
jam.
is gonna be complete dog versus a four bet range.
What is this?
Ace queen off definitely raises. I like raising ace queen suited, so.
Louis,
Doing here?
how many times do I have to tell you? How would I lie to you?
Everything around it.
Would I lie to you, Louis?
Because it's good enough. King queen is
Everything.
jamming as a bluff.
Alright, Louis. Alright, Louis, raise it and see how it does versus a four bet.
Wow,
Can't even raise it, can you?
wow. What do you think it's gonna do? I would.
It's gonna be an indifferent fold or call.
No,
It's
no,
gonna
no,
be-
it's not indifferent. It's sprinting.
Yeah, I'm 5bet jamming.
Sprinting.
What? You're 5-bet jamming, you're getting called by ace king, aces, kings and queens.
Nah,
You're getting
man.
called by under
Jacks.
pairs too. Jacks,
Yeah.
tens,
No,
nines.
not a 5-bet jam for 50 bigs.
Jesus.
Is this?
What's
Louis,
the-
it's the fact that it's an under the gun raise.
Yeah,
that,
it's EP, man.
like you gotta respect the position. And-
I'll respect them, but
Like-
not, and the church?
You have the big blind shoving, not
Church?
UTG.
Do you
You
not
fold the
see-
ace king. Fold the ace
Oh, I
king.
see. Thank you, Bill. At least someone's paying attention. I think it's,
It's the same.
See,
Oh, you still
now
call
ace
ace
king
king
is
there.
in there
There you
and
go.
like, this here is like, what do we do, right?
Not in range, yeah.
Well, look
So
at
I
ace
guess-
jack suited.
No, no,
What's
I
the
get
But
it.
EV
you know
of ace
why?
jack?
You know why it's not in range? Because it's a miserable position for that hand.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Like-
you're right. We don't wanna take it here, cause who knows what we're gonna have to do with it, right? Look at the
Are
offsuit.
we 60?
Look at
50?
the,
We're,
let's look at
we're
the EV
50,
for the
we're 50,
offsuit.
but I'll look at 60. I got 60 right here. Verse 3
60 is
bet.
probably a three, is a, no, versus raise.
It's probably the
versus
same
raise.
story. It's first the same story. No, we need to do verse 4 bet. Small blind, like,
Oh, but no, the question first, Gail, is do we three bet it at 60 or do we still flat?
very, 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 very minor frequencies. But it's just a pure fold at 60 versus a 4 bet all in. Calling is losing you 13.86
Jesus,
chips. Which is kind of a
That's-
lot at.
that is
60
a
big
lot of
blind.
chips.
Alright, so we don't wanna do it because we can't dance.
You can't dance.
Can't dance.
So in our higher ranges at 60, it does call a 4 bet with ace queen suited. And there's
Who
some.
ran
of the
those
rare-
pilot ranges? Who
Huh?
made that mistake?
Well, it's Monker solver, right? So. Under the gun, open small blind, 3 bet, under the gun, 4 bet, small blind. Mostly, it just always calls when we have ace queen suited and it only, it only
It's a three
didn't,
pot three, right?
I'm not
no,
finished.
it's
It
not.
only
Yeah.
didn't 3 bet a small percentage of time in our range, on our higher ranges.
Well, what's the,
What are you trying to
60.
do? Ken?
That's 60. 50 's
yeah,
quite- so
GTO
50 's
Wizard's
quite-
doing like 70% calling and 30% raising from the small
50.
blinds.
50
and
's
if
quite different.
Yeah, if under, at 60, it's doing 70-30 calling versus raising, calling 70%. And if under the gun raises, like 4 bet raises 20 bigs, then it's flooding the ace queen. But if under the gun goes all in, then it's folding the ace queen.
What about here? When we flat, what do you guys do here?
What's this?
Check raise to 50.
Raise.
Oh
Check
yeah,
raise?
this is your best queen, man. You gotta raise it.
Queen 8-7. Hey, this is one of those overbet one, no, bigger, bigger.
How big?
I think we go something like
12,
13, 15 or
yeah.
11, 15 or 11.
11.3.
15 and then jam turn, I think. What's the SPR if we go 15 and he calls? So 15 plus 9 more. Wait, call? Really?
Clicking it,
What?
oh, let me click it.
What? That seems psycho to me.
No, check raising is okay.
Why is it small though?
Probably because of the SPR.
It is pretty odd that it's not check raising
Once you
that
put the,
much.
once you put even that small check raise in, you're never folding, I don't think.
Don't have enough queens there.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it, Louis. Yeah, we just.
Don't, very rare, we just have this few combo of queens. Never seen that,
Yeah, right, because we're small blind.
but I also don't really flat with this, honestly. Which I should, obviously.
Now what do we, oh, sure, you have to keep betting, but small.
Do we
check
ever
again and-
dock?
Yeah, no, we just check raised. We took
Oh,
the check
then,
raise line.
Oh, we check.
I don't
raise.
know, man. You might play check here, to be honest.
No, our
That
flush-
card improved the other way against our hand, like, we got downgraded quite a bit there. I think you just call now. Maybe a block.
No.
Think we check
I like,
better.
You
I
can't
like
block.
checking.
It's too small SPR to block. They'll just jam all the
We-
time.
He doesn't
Yeah,
have
you just-
sixes in his range here, so it is okay to block.
Want a black beat, what size? I would check.
He has
gonna be
ace six
4
and
or it's gonna be check.
kings. No, just
Yeah.
ace six.
4 is
High
fine.
frequency, check.
Oh,
Low frequency,
solid check.
block. But not a block. You gotta call.
Alright.
We
Let's
play
see
too
what you
passive. You
got.
gotta
He's got
call.
the spades, doesn't he? No, we check raise flop and then we
We
let
gotta
turn.
find out.
He has king, queen, he has queen ten, He has queen nine, he has,
He's got ace of spades, X.
ace
He's
of
got
aces.
X, he has some jack ten busted.
Pocket kings with the king of spades.
Although it's a four liner, but the card really doesn't hit him, so.
Yeah, like that's why I would have block bet here.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's
It's
four liner.
indifferent.
We don't really call on four liners.
It's indifferent.
No,
It
it's
is
not. It
indifferent.
wants to fold.
No, the EV.
Yeah.
It's like break even.
Got him though.
Shh. Got him.
Ace,
And,
ace of spades,
and
X.
that's why we don't 4-bet, 3-bet.
Seven's too poor here versus under the gun. You're gonna have to fold
Okay,
this.
so just a quick question for reference.
Anyone willing to answer questions?
Do you always flat call it at every stack that?
No.
No, go 20 bigs, 25 bigs probably, it's a jam.
25?
It's 60, it's not flatting.
30,
Yeah,
yeah.
we looked.
What do you do at?
It'll be flatting still at 60 some. I think
Oh,
at
yeah,
like,
but it's not
it's
pure.
gonna start raising at 60, and as you get deeper, it's gonna be a more, top heavy linear arrangement. 40 to 60 though is where you're gonna see a lot of this flatting behavior.
Yeah.
Okay,
So you go down to
it's-
25, Louis, I reckon, 25.
Oh yeah,
my
Dylan,
guess.
you're 100% right. It's gonna just be jamming like at these lower stack depths.
It's under the gun 1 too, it makes a little bit of a difference, but
Maybe
yeah.
not. It's just
There you go.
raising, but
Yeah,
cost
isn't that,
is 30.
no, that was still raising. Oh, that's for raising, right? You're looking at raising, not jamming.
yeah. It's gonna start flatting here.
But sorry, I
still
was,
raising.
I was also talking about, like, there's a big difference, honestly, between under the gun and under the gun 1. The scenario we were looking at was under the gun 1.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter. It's E EP.
Oh, there's a big
so,
difference in
like-
those two ranges.
Well, the idea, Dylan, is, once you get past a certain threshold, like,
Yeah.
once there's enough percentage in the pot, you can just start taking the chips down pre-flop. That's when we start jamming, and it happens like around 25 big blinds at the
Yeah.
earliest.
Yeah.
So it starts becoming, you see here, it starts becoming a profitable strategy at, what is this, 25, Louis?
35.
This is at
This is
35
40.
even.
This is
To
40.
raise.
Yeah, jam, there's pink in here. I'm just saying this is where the jams start coming in, but
Mm.
I think it's just saying ace queen's a little strong there. So like, I'll look at 25 real quick verse.
Yeah, is 25 a jam, Louis?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
No, not at this chart I'm looking at. But, there is quite a bit of jamming here.
So-
You're at
20 would-
22.5.
At 50,
Yeah.
we're too deep to three bet with these. At 40, it starts to be a thing, a little
20
bit.
big blinds, Dylan, is where it starts jamming. ace
20,
queen.
okay, alright, thanks.
Look at 60. I think it raises at 60 too, LP. I think 50 is just like an outlier.
It's mostly calling at 60. 70, 30.
Okay,
And then I think you
Those-
go any deeper, it's gonna become more raising again, like 80, 100.
Yeah, Dylan's right. I'm fairly confident.
Because like you're playing for the flushes
Yeah.
now. Like you're playing
Yeah.
for the nut flushes and the,
Well, we've kind of
You got a lot
priced
more
out their
post-flop
four
play
bet
for it.
jamming, right? Like, there's
Yeah,
not gonna be
yeah.
four bet jamming. We're not gonna get boxed out of realizing equity. So we are deep enough where we're gonna be able to realize equity. 40 to 60, we're just gonna get priced out of this hand so much. So it just wants to avoid that.
That's good. Makes sense.
and then what about
then-
against late position? Is it
we'll be 3-betting a lot more.
pretty much the same pattern? Do we have
You're
a-
gonna see the same behavior 40 to 60, yeah. But you're gonna see a more aggressive jamming strategy from the lower stack depths, I think. And a
This
more
becomes more of
aggressive,
a value raise it.
Why don't we-
Versus late position.
Why don't we look at 50 specifically, Louis, to compare to our scenario? I still think it would be raising more because the
These
button's
tends
range
to
is so
are
much
supposed to
wider, like it
raise.
becomes a value raise, yeah. It's now just pure value, you're
Yeah.
against late
yeah,
position.
you're right. It's just value raising. Small blind versus cutoff.
Okay, so it's interesting. Against EP, we have a flatting range that is somewhere between 35 and 60. with these
Yeah.
kind of hands.
Yep.
And it moves down
And
against
then
the late position, cuz the
against
late
late
position's wider.
position, we just, they're too strong. Against early position, they're not strong enough. They're miserable against four bets. Against late position, they're value. And at deeper stack, well, they're value because the flush.
Yeah, you'll be able to realize this is a fold.
Okay, what's the worst offsuit ace you three bet here?
Versus under the gun.
Yes.
Slivers
Um,
ace nine.
Jack is a
I
bluff.
think Dylan is correct. The floor of his range is gonna be somewhere around,
Ace
Ace
jack.
not very
ten
many
off.
offsuit tens. It's gonna be like some offsuit jacky stuff. He's gonna have a couple offsuit tens. But,
It's ace ten off, so I use ace nine off slivers, but I don't really do it, but it's in the charts, I think.
I actually think ace jack might be a fold and I'm not 100%,
Ace
But-
jack, not a fold here.
but
ace
hear me,
jack
hear
is
me out
gonna
for a
be
second,
a,
Galen. This is my logic. I'll see if it's wrong. We'll look at the chart, but under the gun is opening like king, queen off, king, jack at some frequency, ace 10 and ace jack. If I've got the jack, I'm removing his ace jack and his king jack, and now he only has stronger stuff. I just think I'm blocking him badly. I think there's some folding. I don't think it'd be 100% frequency, but I think there'd be some folding with ace jack.
hmm.
I don't think so. I
I'm with
would three
Louis.
bet ace ten off.
Yeah, it's never folding, but, I don't think it three bets ace ten. I think it's gonna be ace jack plus.
Okay, it was ace 10. It was ace 10. Damn. There you go.
Your thought process is not wrong, Dylan. It's just, first
Slightly
EP, yeah, it's. What, the construction you kinda were mentioning would make a lot more sense, like middle of position. Like if this was a low jack or hijack range, it would be more correct.
Yeah, and if you look at the EV of ace jack there, I mean, playing ace six suited was making more chips than playing ace jack off there.
Ah, yeah, and that's because of its interaction with the range. Smart Pete.
I think this
Um,
has a frequency of calling. I'm not saying it's the major frequency.
I was gonna say it's gonna.
No, it's never.
It's never
calling
gonna,
here.
it's never gonna call here, but, I was torn between jam and not all in sizing. So a hand like
Yeah,
this
it's like
doesn't wanna
the
call
queen-
Dylan because it's gonna have some hard time realizing equity out of position. You just don't wanna end up in
Right.
an unfavorable spot like that. Yeah, not all in sizing is gonna be good here for sure.
Five,
It's like the queens
Uh,
are just too strong there.
straight
can go
possible
small.
already. Yeah, quarter pot, right? Yeah.
Aces want to check a lot.
Yep, there's some checking here, but small bet is
Then
reasonable as
given
well.
SPR, we don't need to go big at all here. It's useless.
Yep, I agree. You're just gonna price him out of hands you want him to call with. I think you go small again.
I think
To be
we
honest.
rip it. Really? Fuck, I'm so bad at these. Why is it small here on the turn?
Because
you
think
just- you
about
wanna
the
s-
range he calls with, like, he doesn't connect well with it here. If it was
You wanna
like a
string him.
king, queen type of board, it would be a lot easier for us to bet
Okay.
bigger for him.
Below jack.
But the ten,
Alright, so Dylan also like, if you bet big, what is he calling with? What is his calling range versus a bigger bet here?
I was
Like, if
thinking
you
like
jam.
some suited 10 with spades, hearts or diamonds that was floating the flop.
Okay, so I mean, that's some, but how many
Not big
suited
enough.
tens does he have?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's not
mean,
big
that's
enough. I
pretty,
guess
it's
against
very
that three bet
narrow.
range too, it's pretty narrow. Fair
Yeah,
enough, fair enough.
Yeah, best case scenario, he's calling with ace five suited here.
Yeah,
Right,
but
and
I
we're
think,
blocking ace five, right?
I think there's also a factor that like with that short, they don't float so much actually. So I don't know how many suited tens they have there in their folding there. I think there are
Right.
many folds in this region there.
Fair enough.
You see, like, this is the hand that we're targeting. He's got an ace nine, so he's got a gut shot, some overs that he's floating with, you know. Just very marginal strength hands. So this is a spot you might be able to three bet some. I don't use a lot of offsuit nines. But, I think this is more of a call, maybe low frequency three bet.
I don't think this three bets at all, Galen. We were looking at this the other day. The button's
Were
range,
you?
the bottom of his range is the offsuit eights. So our three bets are king six, king seven, king five. Offsuit.
Maybe so. It's definitely offsuit branch from this stack depth. I think versus a button, we still V-pip this, Louis. I'm not 100% sure. I don't have like,
Dylan, I think what you said applies, but from the big one.
Oh, is that big blind?
Yes.
yeah,
Oh,
you're
shit, we're
definitely right about
small
this.
blinds.
Yeah.
So I think
This
we
is more
just
of a
fold
fold.
then. Yeah, it's probably a fold then.
But I'm not sure because now I'm in doubt. Pete got me
No,
out.
no. This is the button. The guy's got a huge wide range.
Yep.
Definitely gonna find a 3-bet so that the big blind doesn't continue a lot here.
My
Yeah,
hat
I
is
would
for
call
like
here for sure. Like, there's
80
no way, we're folding.
80% call, 20% 3-bet.
I'm in it.
I'm folding or three betting.
I'm folding too.
I'm
Wow.
in it.
I'm
Look
so
at
bad.
these.
Lots of raising.
So I
blocking
was
the
right
bo-
about the 20% 3-bet. I was just wrong about the 80% call.
Okay, the king nine. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah,
The
because I
king
think we're blocking the bottom of his opening range.
So he's gonna have wider opens than this from the button for sure. So
Hmm.
what is this, 25 effective?
It's also hard to play king nine out of position to two players
It
when we're
is.
flat.
It
Dylan,
definitely
also
is.
blocking the bottom of opening range is important at ICM. Not so much at Chippy. V.
Okay, but hang on, hear this out, right? Just look at the button's opening range for 1 sec, right? Look at, I know he's got a lot of hands, and it's a marginal difference, but our hand has terrible playability. And out of position, like if we 3-bet get called, it's just, we're not realizing equity. If you look at the button opening range, the only thing that he's got on the suited side in terms of
yeah.
like,
Let me hold you a little bit here. When you say
Yeah.
when we 3-bet and we get called, we don't realize equity. But that depends on your post-flop strategy. Like
mean,
most of the
it's-
time,
Hmm.
like, first off, you need to realize, look at this. This is the range he opens, okay?
Mhm.
And then look at the difference already, okay? We're already talking about money. This is the range he defends. So everything in white here, you're automatically printing. So what you do with a hand like king nine, is that you get a hand like king 10 off to fold. So that if the king comes, it's a little bit more clean, right? And look at the percentage, right? Half of the time or more, we make money when we raise with this combo.
I
But
think,
if you
I
look
think
at
what
the
he's kinda
range,
getting
though,
at.
look, if you look at the, like, if we're holding a king against the button's opening range, we're making it less likely he has a king, which in turn makes it more likely he has an ace. And so when we 3-bet, he's gonna call us with the aces, which are beating us, and he's gonna fold mostly hands that we're beating. So we're not actually like achieving anything.
He's
The only
folding
There's a
hand
with-
that he
little more-
folds sometimes was the king 10 offsuit, right?
There's
folding
a,
with-
there's a
calling-
little more to it than that. There's a little more to it than that. It's a, like, it's not so binary 1-to-1. You gotta look at it from an entire
I agree.
range
He's-
perspective. So like, by 3-betting king nine here, you're not just necessarily targeting king 10 off. You're also targeting queen 10 off. You're also targeting jack 10 off. You're also targeting jack 7 off. You're targeting, you see this big sloth of stuff here? You're not making your money with king nine by taking it post flop for the reasons you stated, right? It's gonna have a hard time realizing equity because it's kind of a trash hand. Like,
You're
it's the
folding
same thing
ace
like
eyes as
taking,
well.
you're just getting, you're getting hands to fold. That's where your equity generation comes from. So, if the guy overfolds, which is probably the reality of some situations, it becomes more profitable to 3-bet a hand like this. Not necessarily because we're blocking his king X and some of the nines that he's opening, but we're getting, you see these offsuit tens to fold, we're getting all these suited combos to fold. Like Ken said, we're getting some ace X to fold. Like,
We're getting
It's
we're
got-
getting 72 combinations of ace X to fold.
We
Which is a
also
lot,
take,
which is
we
a lot.
also take the flop with the initiative and depending on the texture, we're gonna be able to steal on the flop a lot.
I have a question to Galen. What do you think? How does it? What's the real meaning in that sense that when we do a 3-bet in game with king nine there, and
Okay.
our opponents are folding 80% of the time, would it incentivize for us to start 3-betting king nine offsuit now pure or not?
I mean, if you look at that in a vacuum, there's other variables to take into consideration there. But if you look at it in a vacuum and the opponent's overfolding, yeah, I mean, this would be a pretty logical expansion. 3-betting king nine full frequency maybe if they're just always overfolding. maybe adding some queen nine offsuit or something. Um. But yeah, I mean, we're in the lab here, so this is like a perfect opponent, perfect range, playing versus a perfect defending range. You know, when you're actually in game, deviate as you will. If they overfold, yeah, you're gonna be printing money with some of these fringy combos if you over aggress them.
Here we are, fringy combo.
It's same thing, raise some, fold some. Oh, it never folds.
No,
This is so we're
It's
like
better
5
than
big
king
blinds
nine.
deeper here.
this
Yeah,
is
we're
like.
5 big
And
blinds.
we're against the button range, not under the gun one range is what we're against before.
Yep.
Are we folding it?
Oh my god.
Easy fold.
Now imagine if you had ace queen suited there, how miserable you would have been.
You're getting stack raise queen.
Louis is.
Okay, so this is a fold, I
Fold.
think.
I'm
If it was
folding.
suited, we would call.
Okay, so I'll have the same question as last time. What about ace eight?
Ace eight off is probably indifferent.
I think it's in there now.
Yeah, because we're a little shorter. We're 12 instead of 14 and it's hijack instead of low jack.
Ace eight. Come on, ace
I would
eight.
agree. Ace eight is probably gonna be the break point. Yep,
Yeah.
it's indifferent. There you go.
Still ace seven though,
Ace seven suited is good, yeah.
but
you're
now we
good.
got threes.
Getting close.
Yeah, your pocket threes.
I'm more a pocket deuce guy than a pocket three guy.
Cause deuces never lose, right?
Yeah, the other
Deuce
part of that
never
sentence
lose,
is
but thing
they
is,
never lose because you never play them.
they don't play.
That's why they.
I've been deceived. I
Trip
have
it.
been deceived.
I'm guilty of jamming this almost always.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad that's a good play because I was afraid it wasn't.
All
Okay,
ace,
good.
all ace.
This seems reasonable.
Oh no,
Oh, you got tink called by ace three?
you need a king or a knight?
Alright, so here's that fringy hand. Oh, they're gonna give us a cutoff
Oh.
this time. They're gonna give us a cutoff this time?
Oh, I cut off the limb.
I think you can jam this. I do
Snap
think you can jam
jam.
this.
Snap jam.
Yeah,
There we go.
that works.
Finally
Chop
got
it
it
up.
in good.
Chop it up.
17 ends.
Alright, so king eight suited. I think we can start, we pull from this, we definitely pull from this bucket. Suited eights, definitely gonna be a reasonable three bet at sometimes.
I'm calling.
I just don't know if king eight is too good.
It's
See
gonna
it-
be at the top end, but yeah, it's gonna be low frequency.
I think it's suited sevens here.
Yeah, seven,
maybe
6, 5.
It's gonna pull from definitely that bucket of sevens and
Because you
eights.
don't want an eight here, because the eight is the bottom. So
Low
a
frequency three
seven
bet.
becomes the key here, I think. Eight is probably good enough, but probably
I
more.
actually thought it was nines for some reason.
Yeah.
Nines
This
would be
doesn't matter.
earlier
Sevens.
position. Let's just take a look, though.
Because he opens eight, so, oh, look at this.
So there is eights, but sevens are the lion's share of the three betting here. And actually, if you look at sixes and fives, I mean,
Yeah,
sixes
sevens
and
and sixes.
fives.
And it's
So
all
you're
because
basically,
of this here. Oh,
yes,
the full frequency offsuit eights.
right. So it makes eights a little bit less attractive and it makes sixes and sevens a bit more attractive.
And with the six and sevens, we attack like the fringes of the range, I think.
It kinda, this one kinda feels like the post flip categories where it's like. If we three bet. If you look at the range again for a second, the range. We're three betting. Like it just feels like the post flop category. It's like we're three betting that middle section, the king five, king six, queen seven, jack seven. To fold out the bottom of their range there, like the king four down. And then we're flooding the king 10, king 9, king 8 as a marginal hand, right? And then we're raising the top for value. Like it's the same sort of pattern as post flop. Almost.
Yeah, there's some,
The way I put it very easily in my mind. I know he opens offsuit eight full frequency, so we just go one pip under and suit it.
mhm.
That's simple.
Yeah, you're not gonna be making a mistake if you pull from like
Ooh.
eights to sixes here at some frequency. I do like checking here, okay? So the overriding component here is second pair. We have the nut flush. I don't think we raise.
No,
Or do
Nah,
we
we're happy.
raise?
Nah, we're happy. Let's just let him build the pot for us.
Yeah, I like calling, I think. Checking.
Ooh, you're gonna see some big bets here. Oh, boo.
Look
You
at
just check
me,
it, man. We're
rooting for
good.
our opponent to put us in the box.
I think
Yeah.
we turn bottom pair into a bluff. Nah, I'm kidding.
We're good here.
Uh,
I think we just check, try to show it
Yeah,
down.
it's too much of his board.
Yeah, this is,
Yeah.
honestly, that's a great result. Than us check raising and trying to push him off an ace and bricking. This is trash. Let it go.
This one's getting in shot. Okay, maybe not.
Call.
Uh,
Under the
Yeah,
gun.
set mining, right? Just set mining, purely.
You can
Oh,
raise this.
really?
Actually,
Raise small.
it raises a lot at 30. I thought it
Yeah,
was
I
more high. I thought it was higher frequency call.
See, it's
You're
because
sh-
we're shorter that we raise a lot. At deeper stack, I'm pretty sure your call is good.
I think you're right.
you have a big pair. You just want to get it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
okay
no.
putting it in here.
Oh.
And to verify that point, Louis, at 40 big blinds, it's an 80% call.
Yeah,
50, it goes full frequency.
yeah.
Full frequency
This
call.
is just a raise. This is just a raise.
Full frequency call at 50 again.
Yes,
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the
yeah.
nines. We
Uh,
can bet large here, or can we? It's a paired board. He doesn't have a lot of sevens. I kinda wanna go half pot, man. We have vulnerable strength here.
I think 5.1, I think.
You wanna go small?
I just think that you never bet big on paired boards.
Well, that's
Kinda
true. That's
pretty
an
close.
overriding.
We do it
It's
here.
pretty close. It's pretty close.
Yeah.
Thing is, think
But-
about your hand. What are you gonna do if a king rolls off or an ace rolls off?
What are you gonna do out of position if the pot's bigger and the king rolls off?
I think if you have the queen of spades here, 5 big blind bet is fine, but without the queen of spades, I'm betting bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, the
Really
heuristic
bad.
you mentioned, Dylan, it makes a lot of sense. Like the paired board generally does drive down bet sizings. The, two-tone aspect drives down bet sizings, but we have
No. I
pretty
disagree.
vulnerable strength
I
and it's a
disagree.
3-bet pot.
I disagree.
No. Okay, what do you disagree about?
Two-tone makes it more of a big size type of spot.
Okay, okay.
And then, it doesn't matter, right? We three bet, we see bet, and then like if a spade comes, we're not happy anymore. Here we we very likely have the best hand, right? But if an ace comes, who knows, right? If a spade comes, who knows, right? If a jack come, who knows? So in my mind, I wanna size up here while it's clean and while it's very clear I have the best hand. Then if the king comes, well, I'm screwed, right? I have to check and then probably show down, right? Whereas now I have the best hand almost every time, so I wanna pound.
I kinda agree with that. For giggles, after the hand, you should make it rainbow flop to see how it affects the bet sizing if it pushes our size up. Cause I don't know.
Well, in a three bet pot, I mean, in general, it's like that. Like, see here now. In a three bet pot, as the aggressor, when the flush comes in.
We gotta slow down, man.
It kills our action. Oh, well,
SPR.
still wants to go.
Has to be SPR, right?
Yeah, so
We
it's,
have
I guess it's a paired board, so even if he has a flush, we still have outs and we still get value from Jack X.
And he's probably calling with like ace jack with the ace of spade.
Yeah, he's got to, right? Like, so
Or
I
maybe-
guess I can
Maybe
rationalize
a
this.
jack 10 has to call now.
Yeah, I think he still has to call all of his Jack X here, especially if it has a spade.
Without the spade, I think he still has.
He's getting, yeah, he's getting 3 to 1. He needs to have 25% equity.
Which is not hard to come by.
I would
Yeah.
just put it in.
Stuff it.
No,
Can
we
we
call now,
stuff
right?
it?
What? I don't understand that.
Stack
There
to
you
pot
go, ace
ratio
jack.
and one more spade rolling off. We can't even call.
Oh, wait, I thought we were in the river. Am I blind? Sorry.
It's a turn. Yeah, the equity's still uncompleted. That's why I think
Yeah.
you're seeing some of that.
Ace 2. Surely this is just a call, right?
Limp.
Think so.
I like limping.
Yeah, cool.
You
Clearly we
might be
just
able
need a
to
flop,
jam
right?
this, call this.
Hmm.
It's a little
What are
deep
we
to
limp jamming? What's our limp jam construction here with the off?
Ace
Is it
four.
offsuit or is it suited?
It's-
think
Offsuit for
it's-
sure, and then
Ace
some
king, ace
suited.
queen, ace jack. Yeah, the wheels. Okay, let's.
I thought it was like ace eight, ace seven suited for the limp jams.
Yeah, I think it's
And
like
maybe
ace
king
six,
nine,
ace.
king ten, like a little sort of curve there, like ace seven, ace six, ace eight, king nine, king ten, king eight, maybe queen 10, queen nine. Those are the sort of limp jams, I think.
I'm guessing ace king off, ace queen off, ace jack off, maybe ace ten off, and all the wheels, ace five, ace
I
four.
think, yeah, I think the limp jam construction is gonna be more polar. Like you're gonna have the strong ones at the top and then the wheel ones and like low trashy pairs.
Yeah, so let's see. Oh,
ace four
never,
and ace four and ace five suited and ace eight plus.
Yeah, it seems. We'll
Limp
see.
jams.
also ace three, ace deuce is not in there.
I think it's like ace four, ace five, ace six, ace seven, ace eight. and
I'm
then
still
offsuit- Your
confident.
offsuit, ace two, ace three, ace four, ace five, ace six.
Yeah, I'm still confident as the ones I listed, like the ace six, seven, eight, limp raise, and then king nine, king ten, king jack, and then like queen nine, that sort of middling section. And then the ace queen, ace jack is just raise calling. And the ace king suited is
So
limp jamming as well as the
it's
aces.
just the off,
something.
it's the offsuit construction. So
Just
like
offsuit?
the top end of the offsuit is limp jamming. The wheel offsuits are jamming, like from the bottom end. You got some of these low, high-low kings in there, and then it's like trashy pairs that you have in your range.
Interesting.
So
Up to
we
nines.
open jammed the ace seven, ace six stuff.
Yeah, I think that makes
Suited.
more sense with that range. I think it's just gonna be open jamming those combos.
Offsuit ace from the small blind RFI, just rip. Makes
I'm
sense.
not sure if it's in 25, in 20 it's for sure, but I'm not sure if they're like jamming 25.
I think so.
They were all in the jam range, because they were grayed out.
This is just a rip, surely.
From the low jack? That's a
Yeah.
good question.
Oh,
But just
okay.
outside of the bottom of his range, right? Low jack suited,
Yeah, you
what is
probably
it?
jam.
Yeah.
Suited fives, sevens, he suited sevens.
Yeah, we'll take that every day of the week. That's alright. 80 big blinds, 10-8 suited, maybe low frequency raising.
I'm three betting this a lot, actually, like 30-40%.
I
I'm
think
a
at
bet-
80
I
it's
think this is a
less.
call and the three bets are like the slightly weaker than this, like 5, 7, 8, 6 suited, 9, 7 suited, those sort of hands.
This is a high frequency three bet and everything around it, 10-7,
It's
10-8,
mainly a
you say-
call.
So when you say
9-7.
high frequency, you mean
Yep.
39%?
Like
I'm
it's
actually
just
doing
this
it 100.
block of hands in the middle.
Ah, it's not the low ones. Weird.
Oh, no 10-7 though. I was the one pip wire.
Wait, low jack, change to low jack. Louis.
Yeah, you'll get your 10-7 versus cutoff button.
Right, okay.
Same.
Maybe that's what I'm
The same.
picturing. Interesting.
Very often you're gonna see this type of triangle whenever you get past 60 big blinds. And you're against late positions, you're gonna see this part of the deck here, this little triangle. Without the pairs, because the pairs, this is where you pick from.
Pretty sweet flop.
Uh,
Ooh, do we? I think we go big here, huh?
Yeah, 11, no,
Even,
Uh,
no, it
it's-
goes small.
JK, you're checking.
You go big on like the jack high flops, right? Two broadways with a jack. At least.
I think our range wants to bet big here on a lot of combos, but maybe it has to do with this combo that doesn't wanna size up.
Do we have many nines on our three bet range? I can't remember. I
Yeah,
think we
we
only have
do.
weak nines, didn't we? Well,
No,
Shit,
we have a
listen.
bunch, because he opens offsuit tens, so all of our suited nines. Well, not
It's pretty
all,
interesting. It chooses to check this combo. I mean, the range is correct, right? So
Yeah.
like it's polar. Like
Yeah.
you got big bets and checks.
Yeah.
But, this is an interesting one to put in the check range. I guess it just doesn't wanna stack off with a draw here like that.
doesn't wanna screw its equity.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, this hand's gonna do very poorly versus like a raise, right?
Yeah, but it does
Like it-
well against a range that has bluffs, right? So,
So if we check this, how do we play versus a bet? Do we jam? Do we raise?
I would just call.
Just call, I would think.
PR is low, we're just trying to make something with our draw first.
I
And
think it's
our
going
hand
for
to
a check
pick
raise
up a
rather.
ton of equity on the turn.
It would be an
That's a-
interesting question to explore.
Pretty bad turn. That's as bad.
You just check.
Mhm.
It went check, check on the flop, though. So I
I
think it's
mean,
gonna
since we
start
have
betting here.
so-called,
Wow.
We have 10 high, a drawing hand, and the flop went check, check. It's time to bet.
I'm not gonna lie, I would have bet, but I'm never finding a big bet like it
Yeah, that
likes.
was monstrous. What was betting for value that size? Like, what the hell?
It-
What is it?
Everything.
16.95.
It's
So
a
it's going for
king.
8x hands. Really has a preference for the 8.
The thing is, like, his calling range just doesn't have 7x in it.
I'm guessing the 6 as well, given the texture.
so is it
We don't have
going
many
for check
6,
raise
but
or
if
not?
we did, would be
E-
the 8s, the 7, not so much, right? Because it's a pair, but that's the pair. That's a pair and a draw a little bit.
So
You know
do we
what's-
have any nut flushes in our range? Are we checking any of our weak aces on the flop that had a spade?
Should, I
probably.
think.
We're
Actually, you know what I
checking.
think? You know what I think it is
None
bigger
of
than
our
what
spades.
I don't
outnutted,
think so,
like,
Ken, because we're looking for reasons to see bet as a 3-bet are, and just with one spade, it's
So,
like enough reason. to
My
bet.
question, LP, okay, we did see bet a lot, but my only question is, we used a large bet, so I'm wondering if we actually have any nuts in our range.
can I
That
throw
check
one
the
more
flop.
question in, Cap? Really simple question. What is hijack's best hands right now on this turn? He doesn't fucking check over pairs. He doesn't check nines. Right? He's got nothing. He's
He
literally got
might,
nothing.
he may have nines in his hand. He may have full houses here at low frequency.
He's gonna have some
Like,
ace high
But on
flushes.
the board that's like connected, like two-tone, straight draws, like
Mhm,
he needs to
mhm.
bet for protection with those sort of hands, right? Even like top pairs and sets, he needs to bet for. He has to for protection, right? Like really high frequency.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're making a good
So when this
point. That's
turn
why I would like to
comes,
look at the
he has
range.
nothing.
Well, we'd have to look at the range to actually verify that.
So I disagree with you, Dylan, because you can't go out there and say, okay, the solver checks the flop, so he has nothing. The solver is gonna protect his checking range perfectly.
Yeah, well, we're playing against like a high stakes GTO.
Yeah,
machine
you
here.
can't go on out there and say, okay, he checks the flop, so he never has anything here.
He's gonna
That's
surprise you with something
A
here.
bunch of
I
stuff.
don't know what it's gonna be, but I would not be surprised that he's got pocket nines in this range at some
Be nice to
frequency.
look.
Also,
LP.
don't know what it's gonna be, and I don't think it matters that much.
Just look at the stuff.
I'd like to see if we have any nuts first. That was my first question. Do we ever, because we use a large bet. I'm curious what we're
So
choosing.
first off, let's look at the quality of his checking range. Okay, so see if there's anything. So the first thing I thought there would be is like top set, he checks sometimes,
He's
right?
got some, and he's got, I mean, that's a bigger frequency than I thought. That's like, that's reasonable. That's
Yeah.
a quarter frequency almost.
Yeah,
He's
then he
he's
has some
also
bottom set as well, maybe a little bit, right? So when the solver checks, you can't say he never has a set there, because that's not right.
So let's check out
Also-
flushes now.
he's pure checking the straight when he flips it too.
I'm fairly certain he's
Ooh,
extremely
good call, Pete.
balanced. See,
Yep, so like ace
perfect
seven
balance.
pair and a flush draw. He's got ace king suited here where he's got he's blocking the best flush draws. He's got a flush draw there,
right?
like, where he's protecting it. So I mean, this is not an unprotected range. Like
Yeah, so-
there's stuff here.
Almost every time the solver is gonna mix perfectly with his check and his bets. So like. You can't jump to conclusions like that.
What was the
Can
other thing that
you-
we were kinda wondering about?
Can you show what are we check raising on the flop?
That was my question. What do we do with a hand like this? Do we check jam this hand on the flop? I don't know what the answer is.
I feel sorry for you,
kinda,
Cap. I'm sorry, Cap.
Alright. I'm gonna
We'll
get
get
my
there.
No, no.
conclusion sooner or
We'll get
later.
there. We'll get there, Cap.
no, I thought I asked your question, Cap. I thought you wanted to know about the
He-
flush draws.
No, he
Nah,
wanted
for
to
the
know if we
small.
have flushes on the
I wanna
turn.
know what our strongest hands are on the turn. That's all. We're here. Let's do this.
No, I told you, we definitely do have flushes on the turn. Ace, king, ace seven.
That was,
Well, not
my
the-
jack.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So is this versus a bet? This is
Yeah.
our raising range.
Versus is, when we check, he bets, this is our check raising range.
Yeah, so we're not check raising 10-8 suited here ever.
Which is really interesting, because I would have done it.
And then. What else did you wanna know, Ken?
I just wanna see what our value bets are on the turn when we go that large. Do we have, like flushes here, strong flushes?
Definitely. Okay, so flushes. Yeah, we got a bunch. That's what we do with the nuts, actually. Bet big. And then with the lower ones, we check or bet small.
So how often are we actually checking these flush draws on the flop in a 3-bet pot? Cause you said
Well, you
no.
can see, you can see the frequency here.
Small.
You're working with slivers, okay? So
Okay,
not so often.
that's kind of what you said.
Yeah. Like ace king also can make top pair there, so ace king is a good one to check.
So
Ace
back
queen.
to our business now. Pete said it went check, check. And then we need to bet. So tell us again, Pete. Tell us.
So it's a 3-bet pot. The flop went check, check. We have a 10 high hand that has no showdown value. It's time to bet.
Pretty much.
Is that all?
I think that's all. Did I say anything else?
I don't know. Tell me we have 10-9, we need to bet, and that's the only reason. No, the reason one, board went check, check.
Yeah.
Reason two, we got 10-9. With the draw.
Well, we have,
and
yeah,
draw.
we have pretty good equity here as
Okay.
far as the draw goes.
Okay.
I'm just surprised at the size with this combo, but that's because we have so many other strong hands we get to
I
go
think
with.
maybe we're also betting because we are a bit blocking the interaction. So maybe that would be also one of the reasons we would bet here.
Now that we figured blocking, betting is a good strategy, what size? And how do you choose your size?
So how are we going to structure our bluffs in the same way that we're going to structure our value? Our value is going to want to protect against him drawing to a single spade a lot here, because we still have jacks and queens and kings and aces here.
So your guess is that the flushers are betting small here. A
They're
big,
betting big.
I
So
would
our,
bet small here because like we have so many full houses that sometimes would bet very small. So
So
I
what
think I
do
would
you
go
think
small
your
here.
general range wants to do after it goes check, check flop? I don't think we're gonna have a non-polar betting component here. We
So
put
it's
ourselves in a
probably
polar
gonna be
branch of the
polar,
tree.
right? Check, check
Yeah,
flop, we check or we blast.
yeah, we've put ourselves in a
especially
polar branch, so it's
when
gonna
we
be a
have
polar
so
response.
many nuts here, like we still have flushes, we still have flop straights, we still have over pairs with a spade. So I think this is going to mimic a lot of what our hand would want to do if we had an 8 and had a value hand, which would be a straight. So I think our straights are going to want to get it in good before another spade comes. So I'm thinking a 2/3 pot bet.
Well, it's going big. And then
What's the general motion though? Like is there a small component here? A prominent
not
small
really.
component?
So we have like 16 combos in the large bet colors and like 5 in the small bet.
Okay,
Got
so
it.
we're on slivers here.
Yeah.
Uh,
Kings, queens, and aces are all using that size too.
it's 16.
Are they?
And then the king comes. Oh my goodness. In game, I would always bluff here, all in.
I think you got a bluff here.
We got
The
three bet
spade-
ones, we got like good
spade.
kings.
I think you need a spade to bluff.
So we don't have a spade. I think that's why you actually want a bluff.
Really?
Like you can target a single spade hands.
All
and we
right,
got,
so-
like,
As the three better, what's the best card for us?
King and the eight.
king's pretty good. Ace is pretty good as a 3-better.
I think the king is the best. Because he never flats with ace king or kings. Whereas
Yeah,
he
fair
flats
point.
with plenty of ace six hands. So king
The only-
Yeah,
is
that's-
nuts here. We're at the
The only
bottom of our
danger-
range, our draw brick. The king. Good luck.
I'm giving up.
The only danger is he floats a lot of kings here. with the, if he has the king of spades.
Okay, so.
You
no-
need, you
Yes,
need a
the range
spade,
of
I think, to
jamming.
bluff.
Hey, to be fair, I kind of agreed with that line.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
just
just
had you, right?
You had
target
me,
his,
I was sold, man.
You wanna do it with 8-7, but
I think, is it because we're not blocking any nuts? We're not blocking any nuts. There's no straight, right?
Sure
We're
there
not
is.
blocking any full houses. We're not blocking any flushes.
Well,
Like
there
the
is a
king's a
six,
good card for us, yeah,
well,
but
6-8 is a straight.
true.
Is
But
the ace of 10, ace 10
I don't-
off bluffing a spade, right?
yes,
Is it ever bluffing?
yes, always when it's.
Gotta have a spade though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the straight and is the straight the nuts on this board though, Kel?
No.
It's not the
no,
nuts, you're
full
right.
houses,
It's not.
flushes.
So that's what I'm saying. We're not blocking any nuts. That's why we're not like continuing or part
Well,
of
I
the
mean,
reason.
okay, so we have 7-8 in our range.
I don't think that's good logic, Dylan. We're not blocking any nuts, so we don't bluff.
You don't bluff
Well,
that
it
big
lowers the
without blocking your
frequency, right?
nuts.
Like on the river, like
I'm-
blockers are like affect your frequency of bluffing, right?
Is it a
Like-
major component of the decision? I don't know,
It's a considerable, I mean, it's a considerable,
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
I think it becomes less relevant when there's full houses in play, I guess.
I think you gotta, I think to bluff large, you have to block nuts.
You think so? Okay.
Where are the
I
bluffs
I
going
always
from?
can. I think you have to block the nuts to be able to bet large, like all in there.
Yeah, I can't remember where I heard it, but I definitely heard some video from some poker coaching video. Or like an upswing or something where it's on the river to bluff polar, you need blockers to the nuts.
You're,
Like,
no, you're right.
necessarily, but
You're right.
like-
The range construction is a bit different when there's flushes, straights and full houses available. The availability of all these crazy hands is gonna change like the range a little bit. When you're just talking like strictly, straights, that it's a very relevant heuristic, very relevant.
Well, look then, what do we'll have a look. What's all in here? What are the combos?
It's jamming with, sevens, all of your 7x and looks like your ace X that's probably blocking a spade. It's just taking all your ace X, to be honest. Like ace X that you show up here is full frequency.
Yeah, so
Aaron
the
got it
ace,
too. He wants the, you want the flush, blocker.
yeah,
And,
call, Aaron.
we have heaps of aces of spades, so we bluff with the blocker, right?
yeah, it
Because
looks like you're just taking your ace X and turning it into a
Think-
bluff in some
one thing you
cases.
wanna consider, it's not always a factor, but for me, it's more important than blockers. The bottom of your range on the river. Very often, like you're gonna be at the stone bottom of your range, you're not gonna have blockers and you're gonna go for it.
Yeah, that's the other component, right? Like you usually, typically, one of the heuristics is you bluff from the bottom of the deck up. So like
Exactly.
Louis talking about, you pick worse combos to get better combos to fold. Louis usually simplifies that into like, okay, you might bluff with king 4 because you get king 5, king 6, king 7 to fold, like just generally speaking.
Keep expanding on that, right? On the turn, you have about 1-to-1 value to bluffs, right? On the river, you need about 2-to-1 value to bluffs. So the bluffs you drop are all the ones that don't have blockers
The
as much as
river-
possible.
It's always gonna depend on which size you're betting, what percentage of bluffs you have.
About, just like a rough size, but
The thing is.
yeah,
also,
you're
like,
right, you're right, you're right,
block-
you're right.
Blockers can go both ways. That's why it's a bit like ambiguous. Like, because sometimes you're gonna like block. You're gonna block like the straight, but not the flush. And then your blocker.
Yeah, like last time when we had the when we were with crazy sixes and in the study stream, we had a hand like where especially like when there was like flop bet small, it was betting turn like really large, but it was if the flop bet was like a lot bigger, it wasn't betting these very big overbets anymore. So it really depends like. I guess also from like turn to river in the like exact manner, like it really
Yeah.
depends.
Yeah,
what
I
the
mean,
bet
to be
side is.
honest, this hand is not a great example to exercise these heuristics because it's a weird hand. It's a 3-bet pot that goes
Mhm.
check, check on the flop. Like
Yeah,
this is a
exactly.
very
Yeah,
low
that's true. That's
frequency
true. That's
line.
true.
Exactly.
So
Now, I wanna keep some time to review hands. Do you guys have hands you wanna look?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
yeah, I would say that's the only thing I would actually say about that one spot. Like, I think everything that was said is pretty good. Here, I'm gonna send you a hand to add to your fun today, Louis. Let's see.
Alright, let me run this by you guys real quick. So, this guy opens from EP and I 3-bet. He calls. On the flop, I bet small, he calls. On the turn, I don't improve and I don't think it's like a really great turn for me. So it goes check, check. And on the river, he bets 9 big blinds. Then I was thinking about this and I'm like, he opened from under the gun. He's not very loose, so he starts from a tight range. And then after I 3-bet him, he lose a bunch of hands that have he really has to have jack 10 here, right? It
Alright, I was
has to
sending you
have jack
hands.
10 because otherwise like ace queen missed, ace 10 missed, king 10 missed, queen 10 missed. So if you think about the range he calls my 3-bet with, it doesn't connect with this texture well at all. So when he bets on the river, I'm like, yeah, well, thing is, it doesn't
What,
connect well
what,
enough with this range, right?
so what's the line? I have no idea what happened here.
He opens, I 3-bet, he calls, I see bet the flop is small, he calls. Turn went check, check, and on the river, he bets 9 big blinds.
Do you wanna bet this flop high frequency or is this like
With
low
ace king, yeah,
frequency?
because I get called by worse aces.
I think
Okay.
because it's paired, you bet it for value effectively.
Check, check, turn, and then he barrels the river. And you bluff catch.
Yeah,
I don't hate this. My only question, the only question I have about this hand is. What ace king is doing here on the flop.
I
And
think
I
call is
think you're,
fine. On
I
the
think
river,
you're,
call is fine.
I think your logic's pretty good. I would look at just the flop just to make sure, though. I think it's probably fine, though.
Call's probably fine. It's kind of weird that he's bluffing with this hand though. You can probably
I
check it
mean,
back.
he's got a 10. His 10's relevant. Like the
Yeah,
10 is
but then you
pretty
wanna
relevant.
rather block like a king 10, queen 10. Like ace high's got some equity.
So
Especially when it goes check, check down.
I think him betting with the ace 10, actually, it wouldn't be that bad, because like, he's not checking, like, we're usually not checking our over pairs here, so he can make the ace jack fold, ace queen fold, ace king fold, exactly like that. Like, if it, like, people are fold, the thing, what matters is like, people are making these folds. Not
I don't know what
like
this
always
guy's
calling
calling
off.
this pre-flop.
What
This
size did he
guy's-
bet on the river?
yeah, he's out of line from his pre-flop call, for sure.
Yeah, he's out of line
Nine,
pre-flop.
9 big
He
Yeah,
had
lines,
that's
9
true.
big blinds.
9 into what?
It's like
25.
40 it's like a 40% bet or
It's not
something.
calling
30.
off.
Yeah, I think it's fine. But, why don't you look at the flop size just to verify, just what the flop action's doing here?
Sure.
No, like,
Flops.
with the whiz, just put it in the whiz to see if like we're range betting here on this flop with hands like this. You
He
got
should
the
have probably
tools. It's-
piled. Like if he bet, I think he made a mistake with his bet size on the river. I think if he bets what he's supposed to, then we're gonna start folding.
Yeah, that's true. That's
What
true.
was stacked up? It was like 50. We'll just pretend he's got, the ace 10 suited, cuz that'll make sense, right? I think you're closer to 40 or 30, actually.
50.
Is it 50 effective?
You've got 12 big blinds left and it's a 48 big blind pot.
Range
So
bet
this
22.
23. You started with 40 bigs.
Hey, by the
I don't
way,
know how
who
much of a
covered
difference
who?
it makes. But
So the way I usually do it.
you started with 35, 33 bigs.
Yeah, it's closer
Okay.
to 30. Let's see what you do at 30.
30 or
35, yeah. 35, 30, yeah, I know. I don't really care too much. I'm just kinda curious.
range bet 22.
Yeah, it doesn't change the behavior, does it? Yeah, so I think your hands, I think this is a fine hand.
Alright,
That was my only question. I sent you two hands that are pretty easy to analyze if you wanna take a peek whenever you got time. What you got here? Oh, Mr. Andy Reid.
what am I doing here?
You three bet, you squeezed a combo that's probably not a squeeze. And,
Raise, call, 3-bet, 4-bet.
and you called.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
think-
do against a 4-bet here?
I think
That
this
was my
really,
first
I
I
question.
think a
I think-
jam. I think
I
you
think
can
you
jam.
5-bet jam.
Yeah, yeah, I think
Dude,
it's
this is wild, man. Like,
5-bet jam.
and you find this bet on the turn, check, check. And
I think the problem,
Uh,
I think it's very hard to play post flop, and I mean, depends on the opponent, but I would surely 5-bet jam too against some for sure.
I don't hate the
Alright,
squeeze. I
so-
like it, but I don't know. I think, I'm out when I get,
yeah, I don't
four
think this
bet.
is a theory squeeze. Let's see multi-way. Let's see if I can recreate this with a range. So it's like what? We'll say low jack, hijack. Is that about right?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So-
Raise call, raise call.
So he
Louis,
did find
were
a
you-
combo.
100 bigs, 100 bigs.
Were
He
were
did
you
find a combo.
squeezing for value or were you squeezing as a bluff here?
I am squeezing, Pete.
For what purpose?
I have the solver special, Pete.
When you can,
White
Because
magic, white
when-
magic.
when you're squeezing
White
as a
magic.
bluff.
I will refer
you-
you to my PR agent. Pete.
Okay.
It's Louis'
Honestly
white
though,
magic.
like when
Wow,
you
Solver's
squeeze-
calling.
Yeah, no. When you squeeze, it's usually a pretty linear top heavy structure.
Mhm.
Because you're facing two ranges, but it does have the solver special in here. And if you squeeze and he 4-bets, you definitely have the price to continue with this hand to see a
So
flop.
my first
Wow.
question with this hand was, is this a call or not?
It's gotta be a call.
Gotta be
100% it's a call.
So is this a very?
really?
No, right?
It's verified. This is fine. This is, what you've done here is not crazy pre-flop.
Okay. Then on the flop,
Um,
the flop as the caller, so I check.
Now, I can't really speak too much to, post flop, but I think the flop is probably fine, as you said, because you're playing defense, right, as the caller?
Yeah.
And then you bomb the turn. I have to think in my mind, we probably don't bomb the turn, but honestly, Louis, this is way less out of line than I thought it was. Like when I initially looked at this, I was thinking like, what the fuck is he doing? But this is, this seems much more okay than. I had like six questions and now I only have one question, so I think it's okay, probably.
Okay,
The real question is why do you have a 0 VPIP there?
first hand.
Actually-
Oh. Yeah, let's talk about that, Louis.
How is that
Zero.
even possible, Louis?
It's a
if
graphical.
you-
He has a,
graphical
uh,
bug.
It's a graphical bug.
Ace king, the opponent has ace king and lost probably.
Well, so you know
I can
what?
tell you,
know
this, looking at this table, Alex Sheppel having a perfectly 75 VPIP there means they've only played. What,
Three hands.
3 or 4 hands tops?
Yeah,
So,
one hand, 2 hands, 3 hands.
So,
Yeah,
this is interesting, Galen. The small blind's calling range against the 4-bet from the middle position is at ace 5 suited, tens, pocket tens for the set on the turn, jacks and queens for the overpair on the turn, kings and aces, 3-bet, sorry, 5-bet. And then it's jack 10, king 10 and ace 10 are all part of the range. So that might be actually solver supported to get big on the turn, potentially.
oh, I
but it's-
can, oh, really, you think?
Potentially, maybe not
guess you
that
can-
big,
Thank
maybe
you,
not
Dylan.
bomb,
Thank you, Dylan.
maybe
I
not
think we
bomb,
said enough.
but maybe like half pot or 40% or something, which is big in a 4-bet pot, right?
Thank you,
Like,
Dylan. Let's move on. Oh,
I
my
think it's
goodness.
oh,
good.
you're not gonna check it with the
Do I wanna
solver.
show
That's
this
sad.
one? Do I wanna show this one? Let me think about it.
Reveal the secrets, Louis.
Of course
So,
you, of
our
course you want
pile
to.
ranges.
Come on, Louis.
Ace 5 suited, mostly 5-bet jams.
So this is in the
hold on.
300 yesterday.
On the
So,
turn, we had straight blocker.
Pre-flop. 2 fingers here. from the cutoff, goes for an open, and I have the jack ten off. What do you guys do pre-flop?
Fold.
Yeah, sometimes fold.
I think you could go either way.
What did you do here?
Wow, I have a jack and a ten.
So you're
Congratulations.
blocking ace jack and ace
Oh.
10.
I won with a three bet. It's late position against late position. I have kind of two blockers. I attack like, he's opening
This-
like,
This is a solver approved play.
yeah,
It's gotta be low frequency, right? Like, this can't be like a slam dunk.
Nope. It is the
Yeah.
primary choice here. It calls and it three bets a lot.
Maybe I just don't find enough of these. What is this, 100 effective to
Yeah, I
start?
think
Either.
it's,
It's
I
like
think
it's
it's very hard.
70.
I think
80.
this is, I think these are very hard to play as calls, but like, if played, three bet. is,
Yeah, man, so
one of
like,
the option.
it's picking all the offsuit 10x at 50% frequency, so like,
of course. For me, it's normal, but
it's good.
it's fine.
It's good. I
The
just don't
the
do it
problem
enough.
happens after I three bet. The guy four bets me small.
Oh my gosh, man.
And then I'm like, I have jack ten off. Six more big blinds. What the hell am I supposed to do? We're 80 big blinds deep. He clicks me.
Here, I'll give you a
Pricing
hint, okay? So
I
if
think
you're
the hint
facing
is
a,
fold.
I'll give you the hint right here. You're facing a four bet at 100 big blinds, a standard size four bet. If you have king 10, it's a fold. If you have king jack, it's a fold. And if you have king queen off, it's a majority fold.
For this
So-
size?
No, 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 that's for standard size,
Okay, yeah,
but that's
I-
also 2 pips off. So you could probably extrapolate that jack 10 off versus a smaller size is probably still a fold.
Yeah,
Nope.
You don't think?
So we kinda looked at it pre-flop and given the size he gives me and given I'm in position and given everything going on, if he sizes normally, I think it's an easy fold. But with this size, I think I'm priced in.
Yep.
Did you look at the comparative analysis for a standard size at whatever medium that you used?
I had Pete looking it up.
Yeah, like the problem is because he's so deep, his hand plays well along the pair axis. So the offsuit pair access hands that can make straights call here against this undersized bet. So queen jack calls and jack 10 calls. And a hand that's gapped is more likely to fold like king 10 here.
That's interesting
So-
logic, and I don't hate that thought process at all.
Long story short, I call. Alright,
This seems like a problem for HRC, but I think it's a good question.
okay, so here we are, we're on the flop. He C bets small. What do you do against a C bet small with no heart?
Dude, it's an
Yeah,
ace
I
king
think we have
board,
to call.
man. I like folding. I like folding.
No,
Get outta
I
here.
think it's too deep. We
It's a
have to
four
call
bet
once.
pot. It's a four bet
Yeah,
pot.
I think seeing, after seeing enough like, cash reviews, I think it's called for sure. Like, I mean, it's just too good.
Ay,
This deep.
caramba. Let's
He's
compound some
betting
mistakes here.
25%. You're in position.
Yeah, well, you have to call it one. You never fold the flop.
We're
You never
drawing the
fold.
Fold as
3
action.
outs.
Yeah, but it's so deep stacked. You never fold the flop. You're always calling. Like if you watch I have seen so many similar spots where like Brad and guys make their reviews. Like they're never folding flop. You're
Oh
never
my God.
folding flop. You just call it. You just call.
Oh my god, what did you say? If
don't know.
arouse makes the play, so it's good?
Yeah, he said it.
Ay, caramba.
Okay, so I really like to look at solver inputs more than kind of experienced-based players when it comes to these kind of spots. What I'm trying,
I think people who play 1K NL are not bad players. So it's probably good.
well, I like peeling because here I am calling, so
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what I'm saying. I mean, you're
no,
never,
no.
you can't fold.
it's the idea. I thought we were deep enough. I'm not sure if it's good though. Anyway, we call. On the turn, the ace comes and the
I'm
opponent,
gonna say it's indifferent at best.
yeah, maybe.
The element is that he might check the turn and you might get to draw twice to a queen for this price, which is probably a good thing when you're deep stacked.
Yeah.
Right?
Alright, so what happens
But-
now on the turn?
So he checks. And now I'm looking at this and I'm like, yeah,
Here's your chance to get a free shot at your queen. Or river a 10 or a jack and have showdown now.
So what size does all of your big hands make here? Like, I guess your big hands would go this sizing. Like if you have ace, king, pocket kings. You know,
Ace,
pocket
queen.
aces.
probably wanna
Ace-
go small. And this
Yeah,
is
we're just kinda deep is my only challenge with it. So, I mean, I agree. I kinda feel like the board's so locked up and we're targeting like such a small part of the range. I kinda wanna go a little bit smaller. But, I don't know, man. Scroll down, like what did he do? You bet big. Did he call this?
Are you kidding?
He folds, okay. Yeah, I mean, what are we targeting here? You're blocking jacks, you're blocking tens, which are like the hands that you would hope he has.
Sevens,
So
eight,
it's like-
nines?
Queens, nines, eights.
I don't think he's four betting those. That's crazy. You think he's four betting those?
Yeah, true, true.
With a min
Like-
click?
Pocket queens is like it.
Yeah,
Queens.
So just because we're blocking it, he can still have jacks and tens here. He can also have a king here a lot that is just giving up.
Yeah, I just think. Constructing your
I
range
mean,
around
what
targeting hands that
four
you're,
betting?
constructing your range
kings
around
is he
hands
four
that,
betting?
constructing your range. Around hands that you're blocking is probably a bad practice. Your
Yep.
betting strategy.
okay, so I got a little bit frisky here, I guess.
Well, the opponent doesn't seem like a very good balanced opponent, right? To have that min click 3-bet that gives up on this board.
Yeah.
Or the
I have
min
no
click
idea what he's
4-bet.
doing. I have no idea what he's doing. This is kind of a silly hand.
Is
Yeah,
it?
This guy should just get the mark.
Well,
Which one?
he's got the
Me or
appropriate
him?
avatar. Both of you guys. Well, him more so than you. Him more so than you, I think.
Okay.
Romano, I'm
way.
sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you trying to say? I just wanted to complete my thought.
I don't remember anymore.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I think you were saying something about king X.
Oh, yeah, I was saying that what king X is he actually like four betting there even?
Pocket kings, ace, king.
Yeah.
Not much.
Yeah, that's the point. That's the point.
Well, like he shouldn't be betting anything for that size. So like when he has a size construction problem, he probably has a pairing range construction problem there. So
Hmm.
his range is probably not very reasonable for what he has there.
He probably just has said, he said Louis maniac and I don't respect this guy. Four bet trash.
So
Andreas Nemeth.
Yeah,
What are you playing with this guy for?
I don't know, I made a
Very nice.
mistake. I opened with my ace queen. And
Okay.
that's me and I called. I don't know why I did that, but I had ace queen suited. But if you play a
think this
pot
is-
against the luck box, don't expect it to go well. So
You should
on the
have folded.
flop, as the three better, he seems to check here with two broadways and I don't know, I'm pretty sure he should be betting almost any two here. But he goes for
I
the,
think he found a good check, man. He's got a flush draw and a trashy ace.
maybe, but with
Yeah.
Yeah,
with two
may be
broadway as a
good.
three better against late position, I think the three better is betting any two.
yeah, range wise, it's probably so, huh?
Mhm.
I just think, this specific hand in this specific spot may have been a, interesting. I could see the merit in checking this combo.
Okay,
Like the only hands that he will
Yeah,
check
me
at a
too.
decently high frequency is gonna be the low suited aces of spades and then the king, the weak, like the middle strength kings, but he's three bet as a block.
okay, so I went on the flop after he checks to me and I
I
have this
agree.
combo, this texture. I went with 15 into 20. Like 14.4 into 22.
Well, if he's got any traps, man, you are just, if he's balanced here. I think it's fine, to be
It's a
honest.
3-bet
Like, you've got
pot.
your
I have
best.
ace queen. If he wants to play, we're gonna play. If he has ace king. so
Yeah.
be it.
I think you're fine, to be honest. I think the flop bet is fine.
So I
So-
bet super big and he calls. On a turn.
When you're
Go ahead, Pete.
100 big blinds deep, do you want to play for all the chips with one pair?
Yeah,
Depends
I
on
think
my
so too.
mood.
Guess it depends on the pair, huh?
Depends on my mood.
It's a fair question, Pete, and,
Because-
Probably not. The correct answer is probably not. But now
Because-
here I am betting big.
Yeah,
On a turn. The tree rolls off. And then I bet 40 big blinds into 50.
ooh, is this not a big enough bet?
I don't mind a big bet here because he's got so many draws at this point that he's continuing with.
Yeah, I like the big bet there.
Blasting into
And-
oblivion.
Do you go bigger here ever? It's a double flush draw board. Like, this is an overbet spot.
Sometimes.
Whenever you look at database analysis. Top pair, top kicker is almost always never good when a betting round goes back to 21 big blinds. Okay, when I size up like this here, I'm just trying to exploit. And it can kind of,
His
when you
kings.
exploit, you open yourself to getting counter exploited. So yeah,
I think
bet
also
and he calls.
if you bet
Let's take a look.
smaller on the flop, potentially you can overbet turn, I think.
Probably. I'm
Now
pulling
this
up.
river comes. Do you guys bet for value here on this river?
Absolutely not. He's called you twice.
Yeah. With
Yeah,
big bets.
It's called big bets. It's good enough, right?
I
Yep.
think you're good to check. This is a 2 street hand at 100 big blinds effective, I would
I agree,
say.
I agree, I agree. So I went with the check back and he just lug boxed me.
Okay, so
But-
I'm looking at this sim. His check is quite good,
Okay,
on the flop.
Did you see if Louis
And-
overbets the turn?
Yeah, I'm gonna work my way there. Louis's bet is quite fine. What was your exact size? I can't see it.
15 and 14 into 22.
So you took a larger sizing, which is a completely fine action here. He can click you and he should click you at some frequency, but he calls, which is a fine action. We get a 3 on the turn, bringing in the double flush. And he does check. So far, so good. You, on the other hand, you bet always, but it's primarily a smaller sizing, but it does go big. It does go big sometimes.
Okay,
Minor frequency. And when you go big, he's full frequency calling. So everything's approved up to this point. Let's see when the 5 comes. And you check and he checked, or he checked and you checked.
Yeah.
So blocking the front, he should just donk jam sometimes, but never with the front door flush draw. So the other 2 combos.
okay.
Check. And wait, did he?
So
Funny
what's
enough.
what's the ace queen doing on the river after he checks out?
You do check some, but you primarily just put it in. Your whole range is pretty much betting here. Like you've
Jamming?
checked 23% of the time. Yeah, well, yeah, it just jams. It's all that's left.
Okay. So I was thinking
Grant-
about it, but I didn't want to say it
You're-
because of one of the comments that it's already 2 street.
Well, so like,
No,
this is
I wasn't
also
sure.
like, he's more than 100 big blinds effective here, so.
Mhm.
SPR is such at 100 big blinds that it's very small
I think
fraction.
just the king is really bad here with the ace. Like I imagine like I've seen these situations where like the flush comes and it's still jamming with the top pair there, but like the king seems like with the ace so bad here that I would never find it in game myself.
Yeah, I think this is a fine hand too, Louis. Honestly, both of these seem good. I like this hand.
Anyone has hand they wanna look at?
If no one steps up, I put 2 in our chat log that you can take a peek at that are small, easy ones.
What happened here?
I got one after that.
So I raise, I raise at pre-flop.
I already hate this.
My opponent three bets and I call.
First, that's first, it's like, this is very marginal pre-flop already.
You think so?
I know so, dude.
It's
You're playing
200
so
deep,
deep.
but
Right,
It's
so
a cutoff range.
I call. On the flop, you see bet small and I call.
You got to call, that's fine.
On the turn, he checks.
Check.
I go 25, 24 into 37.
I mean,
I would never bet
okay,
here. I would check here
okay.
every single time.
this is like close, but probably not great. And then he raises
I
you.
would check turn every single time.
Dude, this is
Raise.
shenanigans. Dude, this is such shenanigans, such shenanigans.
Yeah,
Do you have any read on this guy or something?
I do.
Never,
Yeah,
never.
White
it's
magic
fold.
is working.
It's
White
the
magic
red
is
border
working.
around his tag. The guy is an aggressive player.
This is the brown shit color, guys. Alright, so he raised and I call. So far, so good. Three bet pot.
You know what you're doing right now? You're jumping in the toilet with him, Louis. That's what you're doing. You're going, you're getting your floaties on and you're going to for a swim.
What do you mean? I have top pair. Three bet pot.
Pre-flop
That's
is,
there.
pre-flop is marginal, flop is okay. Turn, this is a shit show turn. Like, what is going on?
What do
Yeah,
you
Yeah,
I
mean?
your
would
ace,
never- I
your
would never
ace is a
bet here.
marginal made hand here.
This is fucking terrible.
He's trying
Yeah,
to
there
make
you
me
go.
fold.
Hi,
He's
Nick.
trying to make me fold.
And then we get to the river here. We get to the river here.
Alright, let's get to the river. He rips 100 big blinds.
Get out of here, man. Like, you're just gonna lose this so much.
Louis doesn't even hit the time bank. He just snap calls it.
Snap it off.
Are we such a high roller now that we don't care about $31 tournaments anymore? Is
What
that
do
what's
you
going on here?
mean? This is a three bet pot where I have top pair and my opponent is
A maniac.
a little bit out of line.
A
You know
brown
what you
tag.
earned here? You earned 400 big blinds, but you also earned probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tags. As a.
I was gonna say the same thing. If I'm
Yeah,
sitting at
that-
this table, I'm tagging both you as just fucking idiots.
Yeah. Yes, me too.
Very true.
Well.
I mean, I like the idea of expanding the range, but I think it's just too much to include 200 deep calling with ace eight.
You know what I would have liked more is you just, if you wanted to get out of line, I would have preferred just a 4-bet pre-flop with a hand like this. Like, you got a good blocker and a trashy hand, like, just take it down pre-flop, show him who's boss there, but.
I don't like 4-betting against like these crazy maniacs who blasted off themselves. I think 4-betting wouldn't accomplish what we want.
Probably not, man. You're probably right, Romano. This is a wild one.
Alright, so this is what happened, you know, do you remember how I couldn't understand what was going on, like net versus net? But this is what happened when maniac plays against maniac. Only us two can understand it.
But hey, ace nine is a lot better. Ace nine is a lot better here because like with ace nine you would have 2 pair at least.
Yeah, dude, this is wild.
It's a regular Sunday.
Alright,
can't-
Louis, save some of your freaking hands. Show
Alright.
somebody else's hands.
I can't believe that you were on a downswing. It doesn't make sense to me.
I'm not on the downswing anymore, Nick.
I know, I said, what were?
I hand,
Alright, I think, Ken said he had one and I sent you 2 you can look at in your chat log.
Ken, do you want to share?
Ay caramba, let me get my coffee.
Let's see where to go. Oh, why is it showing
Alright.
hand?
You
We don't want
raise.
that. too late to hide it, isn't it?
Okay.
Just hide it. It's okay. There you go.
It's gonna skew shit.
I'm not paying that close attention to it. Ace, queen, deuce. 50 plus effective. I just like a range bet small here. If you had a combo that would check, this is probably a good one. But I think I just want a range bet.
We're like 100 deep. What do you do?
Probably the same. But I would be betting larger, I think. I think I'd have more larger bets and maybe a couple more checks with hands like this.
I like it that small here.
You think this board has a decent amount of checking, Dylan, do you? Let's
Nick?
I
take a
think
look.
we're betting for sure because like, especially with the clubs and having a pair.
Alright, I'm gonna look at 50
Oh,
'cause
there's-
that's all I've got.
What are you doing, Nick?
Ace, queen,
This
Playing
has to be a range check.
in here.
What size?
Oh.
E,
Oh, what am I doing here?
singing in the rain.
We're versus big blind or small blind here?
It's
I think
just,
there's no
single big blind, I think.
There's
Okay.
no small blind, which changes things a
So-
little bit.
I'm betting small here just versus population because people overfold and don't check raise enough in spots like this.
So I'm the
I-
only fish.
I think the GTO response is gonna check at a frequency.
Think? See,
I'm
I
the
just
only
think we
fish.
range bet. I think we range bet here, man.
Oh, I
No,
did
we're
bet
not
small. For
checking.
some reason, I thought I bet big here.
I think if we're shallower, we for sure range bet. I think getting it to 60, 80, 100, we're gonna start having checks. I could
Yeah,
be
that's
wrong.
fair.
Yeah, to be honest, he's never folding an ace or a queen here. So,
So you get raised.
oh,
Man, I think we gotta float one.
no.
Yeah, we
snap
got a
fold.
call.
No one's folding, right?
I'm
Can't
folding.
fold. It's
Here,
just
you're
small, like,
folding?
I'm folding. Fold the
You can't
laundry.
fold. You can't fold here, that's for sure.
You can't
you're getting
fold, yeah.
3.74. And by the way, okay, so at 50, this is just a range bet. So I'm gonna check deeper. I'm gonna check at 100. Did it go, what do you do on the turn?
So what sizing was the use?
We
when
haven't
you
come
checked?
there.
Now you fold. Like you
Now
don't,
you
you
fold.
don't
No
need.
chance
you don't-
I'm folding.
Oh, dude, I'm folding here now, man.
I'm
Like,
folding.
Always folding here as well. Why do
Somehow
you,
his bluffs came in 5-3.
why do you not
The
want
chick
to fold?
Because I don't have a diamond.
Wait, what?
Simple as that. I
kept-
got second pair, no
kept
diamond.
did
he's
you
full
flop?
shit.
Did you bet the flop and he called and then he dunked
He
the turn
check,
now?
he check raised flop, small.
I don't
Oh,
think
okay.
diamonds make up a large part of his bluff range here. When he check raise, it's gonna be a
Oh.
lot of like king 10, jack 10, 3-5.
Mm-hmm.
And then just
think-
like probably low
I think he,
combos.
What?
but
He's
I
got-
think he has diamonds, but I mean,
My thought
does this
is-
guy have diamonds?
Yeah, my thought is low card bluffs are gonna be diamonds, hearts and spades. So yes, it's only a third of those, obviously, but it's something. He's a
So-
German, so I gave him a lot of credit. Too
So that's
much.
maybe what, like 5 or 10% of his range that gets here?
I
Yeah, I
think
mean, it's
you, I
not a
think
lot.
you got a challenge here is the other challenge is I think ace high boards are generally under check raised. Like, I think this is just an under bluffed spot from a check raising perspective
I
because
agree.
it's not a very
That's
attractive
true.
board.
Yeah,
One,
That's-
it's
yeah.
rainbow, two, it's ace, queen, deuce. So it's like, you probably are supposed to check raise like some 3-5 here, some 3-5 suited backdoor.
Mhm.
yeah.
Maybe some jack 10 backdoor, but I feel like it's probably under bluffed. And,
Yeah,
to
and
the,
also they
How
usually
about-
have the twos here.
How about king 5, jack 5,
yeah,
10-5?
yeah, those are good combos too, Ken. Those are good
Threes,
combos. with
So-
backdoor.
Fours,
For what
5s.
it's worth, at 100 big blinds, this is checking like 70% of the time.
Well,
I
we're,
was also gonna, confirm your theory with the range bet also, Nick. As you get deeper, it does have some checks and it does lean larger bets on the flop. So
Yeah.
there is some checking.
Um,
which is-
but
But how much?
I don't like Galen said, as an exploit
Quarter
here,
frequency.
I think it's completely fine to just bet range
Range
still
bet it.
because,
Mhm.
yeah.
Alright, well,
just-
we're 60
I agree with
anyway.
Galen where
We're
people just don't
70.
check raise enough and they overfold, so.
Especially
On
this
a board
texture.
like this.
Yeah,
on a
that's
board like
true,
this,
that's
yeah.
true.
If it was
So
like
what does
4,
GTO
5,
do on a
6,
turn
yeah.
to this?
I don't know. You got it up, Nick?
Oh, I thought you were looking at it.
Yeah, let me go to,
I
what
got
we
100
started
big
with
blinds.
60. I'll go to 60.
I got 50 and 100, so mine's not exact.
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
If he's got it, he's gonna have more of. I was just trying to find the heuristic for
I feel
range
like
betting.
against the solver, we need to call, and against the player, we need to fold here.
I think even
I mean,
versus
this
solver, this
is-
is a fold.
I think it's a fold too. I
I
think
don't.
it's,
Obviously, because I called.
I think that flop is gonna mix folding as well.
No chance. No chance the flop folds.
so I'll run it. I'll look at it at
Call.
100 since I'm here.
Oh,
So at 100 big blinds, you're calling the flop as you did. And then we get this 4 on the turn. And when he bets, see, it's like, I'm
he
gonna
doesn't
have to
really
either
have
go,
this tiny sizing.
I'm gonna go small, just to drive home the point. Alright, so versus small bet, you are indifferent with the ones blocking the flush draws, like the front door flush draws. Oh, actually, no, you're not. Yeah, you're indifferent with this combo. Like it's mainly a call versus 33% sizing. But there is folds, so I would imagine versus this half pot sizing, you're almost gonna be a 50 split between calls and folds, if I had to guess.
At the 100.
At 100 big blinds, that's correct. That's
Mhm.
another consideration here. Yeah, cuz if you go up to 75%, see, bet for the guy, you're folding 65% of the time.
So
Alright,
now
Dylan,
I'm ready
have
to
a good one,
fold
man.
now. If he triples, I'm done.
Cheers. See you done.
Oh, he gave up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
you-
fold
you-
too.
You just check this down. Just check this one for sure. And he's gonna show you king 4. Oh, I thought he was gonna show you like a. I
that
have
was random.
not watched the one, or unless you're talking about the cunts one. I did watch some of that one.
This is never, I don't think this is ever, I think he just thinks I'm over, probably thinks, look, I got 100% C bets in this game versus him. Yeah, he's only got 30 hands on me. He's like, this American's just C betting every flop. And I'm gonna find every sliver of anything I can find that check raise.
Yeah,
My sim at 50 is calling some, raising some and folding some. It's completely
Mhm.
indifferent.
Yeah, that
It's
seems
Break
about
even at
right.
best.
On the flop,
No, versus the bet on the turn.
oh, so it does still defend the turn quite a bit.
I mean, yeah, you're making 0.02 chips by calling versus solver.
Okay.
It calls like 60%, folds like 20% and raises, or yeah, something like that. Mostly calls, but I would still even seeing this just fold.
Just fold turn.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Alright,
Alright, if you don't have another one, I'll share and I'll show a couple.
and never
Yeah,
go
I
for
like
thin,
that
we never go for thin
I like
value.
the 10 though.
So actually, now that I'm looking at this now, this was an overhand. I'm thinking I probably tag this to see if I get to go for thin value on the river. But then like, I'm only beating bluffs, right? And like, he's gonna check better queens, I guess.
This is like a quintessential showdown hand, I think. I just don't
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, I think you
you're-
don't want to reopen the action because when you're already like people are pretty nitty in their like check raising spots, just like we previously talked. So for that reason, I think his range is like much more tighter usually in these spots. So I think reopening action, there's no worth to go thin value here.
So like the 8, I think is a brick for all of his bluffing range. So what if it's like a 6? Do we try to get a like a crying call from a 6?
I am fairly
That's
confident.
six.
I would wager within my confidence that you just don't open the action ever
Okay.
with this hand.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Okay,
I mean, if the 6 comes, then you sure can can like do some stuff, but then you have a 2 pair. It's different.
Alright, let me share real quick. Let's see. Alright, so entire screen. Alright, so these things are hard to read, I know. Alright, so what do we have here? I open, we're deep. First off, we're very deep. I open 2.5, get called by the button. My first question is, are we c betting this out of position?
No,
Okay. Well, I see bet, we
I
get
think it's
called.
weird and different.
If you see bet, it's not small.
I agree.
Maybe
I
not,
think-
right?
I
Maybe
think you
not.
can check.
Check or bet big.
Yeah, and then when you check and he bets, I think you can mix raising and, wait, how deep are we?
I think it's a
You're ve-
great
you're-
raise in lead.
Super deep?
You're
Okay.
very, very deep.
I'm probably
Um,
always raising then. Check
Yeah.
raising.
right.
It's a
I'm probably
great
just check
raise
raising to
because
build a pot.
he's also
I
short
like-
with the top of his aces, right?
I agree, I agree. I usually play this check, I usually play like you're saying, check raise. I just said, I thought we had, a flush draw and some marginal equity with a gutty here, so. I was targeting some like auto folds to get folds with a high. I don't know if that's a thing. As you guys said, I mean, funny enough, at 100 big blinds, like there is quite a bit of small betting here. There is some large betting.
Really?
But I think it's the fact that it's a two-tone board. So like two-tone boards. Like are gonna drive down the bet size, but. There is a lot of small betting here at this stacked up. Granted, this is only 100, not 200.
but
So
how much is the small bet there? Like, what's the size there?
33%, it's what I bet, 33%,
Ah,
2.5,
okay.
2.5.
That's a lot
Yeah.
more betting at 100 than I thought it'd be for that sizing.
Yeah. Me too,
Can-
kind of.
Can we see the grave bill for jungle, please?
Oh, you wanna see the Graves build? Yeah, it's funny. So, okay, I bet he calls. Which is fine. We get a queen on the turn. I'm pretty confident we just gotta slow down here, right? I don't know, maybe we don't.
I mean, I
No.
think if we have,
Yikes, we don't slow down really. We kinda just
Yeah,
go
we-
bananas.
We have 8 high.
I think if we have bet the flop, we usually continue, I think.
So I think my plan here was to play check raise on the turn, so I did find a check here. And let's say that he found a bet. Let's say he found the primary frequency of like. This, so he finds the 75. What do we do with a gutty and a flush draw? Yeah, see, this is what I was planning to do. I was planning to, put in a raise here on the turn. I thought it was a more efficient way of building a pot, but it goes check, check, so it's okay. So check. Check. Short story, I should just be betting myself there. Alright, and after we play check, check on the turn, we have kind of an
I'm-
interesting situation here.
I'm
on the
betting
river.
like 3x pot on the river.
Right, so they only have 1.5 in the solver here, which it takes quite frequently, but it does do check quite a bit. Does do some checking here.
I love the check.
So we find a
Oh,
check
we
and,
hit. Oh, never mind.
yeah, we hit our gutty. It's very disguised. Which
I
is kind
thought I
of
was bluffing
interesting.
for 3x pot. Never mind. I hate value betting.
I kinda like doing the same. I like the same idea though. Like if I would have bricked, I think I would have, done the same. Very big bet. So he bets this and then I think obviously we raise. And it just kinda goes bananas. Like it just puts it all in. I went for this clicky size and we just get a fold. Well, it's not even a clicky size.
Did you bet on the river yourself or you checked the river first?
No, I
Check.
checked the river.
Oh, you checked the river, okay.
Right, so I bet small pre-flop, 2.5, bet small in the flop, check, check, turn, check river. And we captured what looks like a bluff
So
here.
how do you construct, like, in the sense of like exploits, how do you think about these places where like we're afraid of people checking down the river when they often, like, when the turn goes check, check, there are so many where people just check down the river. So how do you
Well, so
usually like
Romano,
navigate?
well, so think about this. Okay, when I play bet small and he calls and he goes check, check, what does his range look like here? Like,
Yeah,
this
pretty
is,
wide.
this is not the nuts ever, right? This is like medium strength trash. So
yeah.
what are we targeting? Okay, so we're targeting his middle strength hands and his bluffs. So
Yeah.
we could bet big here and we could target his hero calls, which,
Mm-hmm.
you know, what does he have for a hero
Which is
call?
pretty
Like
hard.
yeah, it is
Yeah, which
hard.
is
So what's
pretty
he,
hard. Mm-hmm.
he's heroing with what? Ace six or something, you know, maybe ace 10, maybe some trashy ace that he's
Yeah, maybe even 7.
underrepresented. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's heroing here with. So I would rather, now the caveat here is it needs to be a player who can bluff. So if he has a weak
Yeah.
part of his range and he's a player that can bluff, I like playing check here a lot more. Because, you know, you're gonna
Yeah,
capture
yeah,
more chips with a bluff, cuz he's not gonna show down jack high
Mhm.
if he's a good
Yeah,
player.
yeah. For sure.
So that's
I
kind of
think I
how
think one
I
of the
take
good
that.
points is also like that it's hard for us to get called by when we like when we go very big. It's very hard for him to call. So we
It
don't
is,
make
it
we
is.
don't want we don't want the reason we don't want to bet big there is because it's so hard to get called by.
Right, I think we got
Basically,
8 more,
simplified.
we got 8 more big blinds here than we should have playing check, I think is kind of the
Yeah,
synopsis
yeah.
here.
Okay,
But,
thanks.
yeah, man, let's see, not Bill, not. We need Louis, or I thought I sent Louis hands. Did you erase the hands I sent you, Louis? Or did I send them to somebody else? I might have sent them to somebody else. Okay, Jack. Here's another interesting hand. This one boiled down to, do we have enough on the river to go for it all here? So I raise, we got re-raise, we call. Check, bet, call on the flop. Probably could play raise here.
Wait, against who? I have so small screen right now. I'm outside.
Oh, it's all good. It's first this guy who is, so. I'm like early position versus middle position.
Oh, okay, okay.
Probably should be playing raise here, I think, at some frequency.
So
let's
you
just
bet
see.
flop, no, you check flop. Okay,
So we'll call it
you check flop,
100
right?
because it's what we got. And we'll say under the gun 1 first, like hijack, 3-bet pot. And we got jack, 5, ace. Under the gun 1, yeah, we do 4-bet this combo some, but we do have it in range. So I guess I was kinda curious about what we're doing here on the river. So we play check. Our guy bets small and we probably should be check raising. But we do actually call here quite a bit, more than I thought. So we find a call. It prefers top 2 here, it looks like. We actually just don't do a ton of raising here. Pocket fives goes bananas because it just kinda hit the lottery, right? We're unblocking everything, so pocket fives makes a lot of sense. Well, we find a call. And on the turn, we get the ace of spades. Alright, and
To
when
which
the
we
ace
check
comes in,
also.
we do quite a bit of betting here, actually, more than I thought. I just don't find donks
Like
here.
with
This is,
leading? Is it
yeah, 30,
leading?
yep, 30% of the
Wow.
range leads here.
Wow.
30% of the range leads there. I just don't find it. Not to say it's bad, but I don't find it. So he does have a lot of ace X here, by the way, that plays check, which is pretty interesting. Including ace 4, which is to note.
Yeah,
So we find check.
it's just gonna be hard for him to bluff here. So I think that's why you get to lead here a lot.
Right, on the river, we actually don't do much leading, which is kind of interesting with this hand. I guess it wants to play like check jam or something. But, I find this little lead.
I think since there are some aces that he still checks back, he it assumes that these all aces are still betting, so there's no point to bet ourselves and let all these aces like go on the river for themselves, and then we can
Yeah,
jam.
Yeah, I figured we would bet just because we're unblocking ace X, but, and then he gives us this like clicky size, which I don't think anything ever does this other than the nuts. This is crazy. So like, if we get clicked like this, we're just not really supposed to be raising. Your full house here, which is, this was my question. I just don't know if we go for value here. So let's give him like a larger raise. That's something that's got wider parts of the range in it. And then if we give him this, it's like a more attractive part of the range. We can start jamming this combo now. So, I mean, this is a weird one. It just really depends if how he's organizing his raise strategy here. Like, if this is,
Yeah, but we pretty much lose only 2 aces.
well, he could have ace four, I guess. Maybe some ace five. Ace jack's a hard sell, right? And like you said, pocket aces.
Yeah.
We probably got him to fold an ace here, though. He probably folded like ace 10 or something. I don't know. Anyways, anyone else wanna share? Be my guest.
Galen, I sent you a hand if you wanna go for that.
Is that what you sent, Bill? Let's see. Oh, let's do this. Okay. It's in this crazy format. Is this something I can put into a hand?
I can get it into another format if you need it, just in my HM3.
Okay. Hand converter. Yeah, I can read this. It's just I'm being lazy. My brain has a hard time processing this.
I said I can transfer into something else, what's easier.
Yeah, just, use one of the other formats, the, which
The
one
plain
is it?
text.
I mean,
Yeah, just
if
try-
you remember the action, you can
Easier.
actually just like walk it through, I think.
Yeah. This is the one. This is the one my brain computes.
Okay.
Is my screen up?
Yeah,
I
you got it.
think, yeah, go ahead, do that one, Nick, while I do this. I'll set this up.
So open hijack, get 3-bet by the big blind, easy call.
Yep.
Flop comes 2-7-3. He bets a third.
Yeah, is it call?
So I got two questions here. When we're this deep, one, do you ever four bet this as a bluff pre-flop? Two, can
No.
you ever raise this on the flop?
No. You don't wanna ISO yourself against like over pairs or like non-bluffs. You could be good at showdown against king ten. You have one of
Yeah, I like the
guys, you don't raise here.
I don't think you're gonna have a raising range of position in a 3-bet pot on a board like this.
Probably not, right?
Yeah, me
Pro-
too.
At this SPR, I guess pre-flop's more of the interesting question. Like, since we're in position, you're just calling this for sure.
Since like also, I think if I remember correctly, these kind of boards are actually better for him than for us. So like it doesn't really make sense to like, what are we getting off him to raise like on the flop?
Yeah, you guys are right about it all. It's not a three bet. We're not deep enough.
Alright.
And, hand's too good. So everything's looking good.
I would call and
Turn.
You definitely do call the flop.
yeah, sure.
Turn, he bets giant. Like 80%.
So I think this boils down to if you think hitting a jack or a king is gonna be good for you.
We have a flush draw.
I know, yeah, the flush draw is the obvious part, right? Like hitting the flush is the obvious part. But if you call here and let's say you hit a jack on the river, are you gonna be good?
We have like great odds with how deep we are. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think the king and jack are relevant if. I don't know. I mean, like,
That's
we-
so
so-
hard.
just our range construction, we have king, jack of diamonds, we have king, jack of spades, we have king, queen of diamonds, king, queen, like, we have so much other stuff that completely bricks and has to fold here, so in order
That's
to
true.
know
not
what's
have
interesting
to
about it?
overfold our range. We have to
I think
call with
you,
this.
yeah, I think you do call. I'm always calling here. I'm just trying to think of like worse flush draws that don't have equity and there's not really one, cuz 5-4 has additional equity. And then like everything with the 7 and the 8 have additional equity. Everything with the queen and the 8 has additional equity. So it's like a king high flush draw is like a naked king high flush draw is like probably one of the worst flush draws that's you could show up with here, actually.
But
Funny enough.
since it's a 3-bet pot and also all his like ace X is also in here, wouldn't it be better to maybe jam it turn?
No, 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 no. You're just jamming, you're jamming into better hands. You're gonna get called by better and you're gonna have like less than 30% equity a lot of the time. I think you're right. You just call this turn. Just kind of thinking it through.
So river was the interesting part to me, where he bets around half pot and leaves himself 20 bigs in a PKO. And we have him covered. Do you
Oh,
A,
man.
call, B, fold, or C, jam?
I might have got debated here too, Nick. Like, that's a read I probably would have taken as well. It's like, why are you gonna leave 20 behind if you got the nuts? You know,
Yeah, just,
what's he doing that with?
I thought it was an exploit to jam, but I didn't think it was out of line either. I thought it might be a solver approved thing. Cause in my
Thanks.
mind, we are gonna have a jamming range because we still have aces full frequency and pocket sevens and pocket eights that we play like this. So it's not a huge, we don't have a very large component of nuts, but question becomes, what hands do we wanna jam for bluffs? Well, we don't have diamonds or spades or anything. Our bricks here are gonna be clubs, and I didn't wanna have the ace of clubs. So like
Yeah,
5-4, there's not a lot of, like you were saying earlier, there's not a lot of hands worse than this.
mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, I don't hate this. I think a solver is probably just gonna say, no, thanks.
I
But
think it's,
I still think oh yeah, okay, maybe I'm wrong.
I think it was a pure jam in the solver if I remember right.
Oh, was it?
I'm not sure. I'll rerun it again real quick.
That's a funny
But
one.
it was really, yeah, an interesting just river spot.
I'm putting Bill's thing together right now. I wanna see what we got here. So this is like a,
I
small
mean,
blind, big
yeah,
blind.
his sizing is very small on the river, that's true, so.
Yeah,
I
it's like
mean,
if-
we can
if
get his ace queen to fold, ace jack to fold that.
ace king, yeah, I mean, we get better hands to fold. Some pocket pairs, tens, jacks aren't really loving it.
Yeah.
Hijack.
Yeah, I
raise.
agree that the river sizing is a very like big giveaway in game.
It's like betting half pot in front of me, man, like a bull in a china closet. Like I'm probably gonna spew. Alright. While you're doing that, I'll look at Bill's hand real quick. Alright, so Bill's situation was. We have 100 big blind effective pot here, or no, actually, I'm wrong. It's like 40 big blinds effective. Ay caramba. 40 single raise. And it goes bet call on the flop, with second pair. I don't think I'm a huge fan of this. Think I probably would play check. But it's okay, probably fine at some frequency. Then we got bet raise. Call. Got a call, I think. Diamond, diamond. Maybe it's a
Can you
rainbow.
close the Discord on the, it's,
Wait, Yeah, I'm reading the
interfering the display.
Yeah. The Discord is what I was reading through the hand that Bill sent. That's where he sent it. So. First action, Jack 10. And we have Jack 10 of diamond. Okay, so like I said, this makes sense. It's betting really small though, which is interesting, or checking a lot. You went for quite a large sizing, so you did like this half pot deal. Just gonna put us in a weird part of the tree. Let's see what the offsuit one does. The offsuit one has some larger sizing, so we could still be out there with this. So we'll say like you went half pot. Okay, and we get a call. Turn. Queen of spades. Now you've picked up some equity and you continue to bet. Reasonable fraction, about the same. Okay, so we're in the slivers. It wants to pure check here now. We keep going half. Which, I mean, this is an appropriate response for some of the range. But this combo specifically. It likes to do this with the worst ones. So if you have an open ender here and you don't have a pair. Sure, we can go kind of crazy with some of these.
Yeah, I
But,
think the thing is when we have a like a combo draw like that on the turn, like we have so much equity and we are not making much like better hands to fold. So there's no point to bet ourselves. We can just
Right.
safely run it to showdown.
And then when we get clickied here, this is where it gets kind of interesting, cuz it's like. What do we do? So your jacks are just kind of going bananas if you don't have showdown. If you do manage to have showdown here, which is like we're in vapors of the range. You do call, which is okay. And then we get the 10 of hearts on the river, which is a pretty good card for us. And you lead jam. Which is a pretty good move here. Honestly, like a lot of the range. It's just not like we don't have much here, but, your tens are jamming, balancing with like basically your air balls. So you got air balls. Ace high is probably targeting some kings, some queens, king, queen especially is just like in the blender here. Ace 10 looks good. And then he's just gotta fold a bunch of stuff here. Yeah, like. Pair flush draw or pair straight draw stuff. All of his ace X is indifferent. Yeah, I mean, it's okay, seems. I would just, resort back to the marginal made hand. Being the primary factor and, playing it a little more defensively. On the flop.
I may have had a mark on that guy because I normally don't play. I do play aggressive, but not to that extent.
Not that aggressive.
No, not to that extent.
Yeah, Aaron, he did bet fold, leaving that much behind.
We're gonna wrap it up. Invite everyone to move on the Discord. We're gonna continue for there.
Alright,
Later, guys.
Thanks a lot, guys.
See you,
Have a good
everyone.
one.
Yeah.